Only for it that
it's the
holds
cool,
us all together.
It's the cool, flashy titles that make all of this worthwhile.
That's it.
I mean, surely that's the only reason why we do them. But I believe we should be like up and live and up and running. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. And we have our first people, Kerry Carter. Thank you, my lovely mother, for chiming in first. Welcome. Yes. I was wondering why you hadn't opened that yet.
I actually looked at it, I was like, that's not open. I know what I can do.
I know what I can do. Guys, welcome back. Episode 88, of course, the happy hour wine for the people. We have another very special guest. If you know, I mean, I would describe you as being a very special guest.
Yes.
You have literally been here, staying back for 88 episodes. We're talking about Noah Ward. You've heard him by voice. You've seen his quick hands dropping off things, especially blind tasting wines. You've been on a couple of times. This will be the third
This
time.
is the third time I'm on, yeah. Besides a bonus Instagram episode.
There was.
Deep cuts.
And first things first, let's get wine in glasses. We don't have any wine, so let's jump straight into blind tasting.
Yes,
I reckon straight into blind tasting.
I brought one.
He actually brought a blind tasting wine.
The rules of the game still apply.
And we brought back the old graphic. I missed the old graphic.
Yeah, not the
cool kind of glitchy.
No.
We're really cool.
No.
Nah, we're not even that classy.
Let's go dorky.
That's I mean, it's more us, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Noah.
Brendan.
Because you've been on the show, obviously, 3 times, and at sort of various points throughout, obviously, when we started, and it was all sort of like, go, then maybe a couple of weeks in, and then it's been a procession of amazing sort of other guests and stuff, and then now.
Yeah.
And I think everyone sitting at home has gone through their own personal stuff in the last like 3 months.
Yes.
How have you found your role and all the stuff that you've been doing, like Friday Fluff, all the different I still remember having a debate with you about what wine goes with what Pringle.
I don't even remember that Pringle.
I don't know, but because that's the amount of things. Like there was shapes. There's been Pringles.
Shapes,
there's been
Pringles, bakery
baked goods.
Like
making wine is fun and captivating and different. How is that? Because I mean, you've been with us for about 3 years.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
Come September, yeah.
How was the last 3 months compared to the last 3 years?
Imagine the remaining 3 years condensed into a little block. That's without the bar service.
Without the bar service.
Medium bar service. People knocking on doors and just being like, can we buy some bottles? Yes.
Yeah.
Can we do a tasting?
Yeah,
Not right now.
Yeah.
It was funny. I think he said it's like we applied for the digital wine communicator of the year.
Which is kind of cool. I think
Which is cool.
I mean, for like, because we're not journalists.
No.
No.
We have zero credibility.
Zero credibility
when it comes to other stuff.
Our
absolutely. Stuff, we've got 100% credibility.
I don't know. I think the fact that we just really like wine.
Yeah. But I think you said like we had to submit different pieces, and we said I submitted a piece that I wrote about low ABV wines to drink in isolation. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I wrote that. It's like I've forgotten a whole bunch of stuff because
there's been so much stuff.
I've had to pump out around about 5 or 6 emails a week. And then in like the peaks of isolation when we're doing like...
It was one per brand.
One per brand along with Applewood. So I think it was like 10.
It's like PTSD.
10 a day. And I was working from home. So I was just sitting on like my kitchen counter just going crazy and then forgetting out all that stuff. But it's been a pressure-fueled, dynamic, creative explosion period of time that you could not have predicted. But it's been... like outrageously fun.
You couldn't really replicate it either.
No,
I don't think you could.
You can't create this stuff.
I mean, not that you would want to replicate everything else that's going on, but no. I mean, from my perspective, we've seen such amazing things come from. I think we all sort of realized in ourselves that we could do a lot of the stuff that we've done.
Yeah.
In the last 3 months, but also the rediscovering the sheer and utter love for wine. And how fun it can be.
Changing opinions of, like you get your opinions changed about so much. You have a certain view of something and you go, oh, that's kind of not what I'm into or whatever. And then you get reintroduced to it in a certain way and you go, that's actually sick. Whether it's, you can get jaded about the natural wine movement, or you can get jaded about conventional wine, and then you get reintroduced from people like
Cabernet
Creek. Or
just Cabernet.
Cabernet. Dude, Yarra Valley Cabernet. How good. But you get reintroduced to stuff, and you can go, oh, you have a winemaker from Jacobs Creek, or you get Darrenberg, and you go, oh wow, that's a completely different idea of what I had of that in my head, and then you have like the same thing flipped on you with natural wine. It's like, oh wow, that's not exactly the way I thought that person would be, and you just get
actually, I think
you get to learn so much.
100. There has not been a single guest that we've had on that we've walked away from and gone, we wouldn't have them again. There's not been a single guest that's like, you know what, I'm never catching up.
Yeah,
for a beer with that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Or girl. Like they've all been. So, in fact, it's one of those things where I think, especially someone like Chester, there's Chester on the camera and there's Chester, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying there was Chester off the camera, who was just so nice, so lovely, so pragmatic, so interesting as well. He's actually just as interesting to talk to as he is when he's going through the Darrenberg thing. Yeah, he had just so many amazing things to offer.
But he's not as explosive.
He's
a lot more
explosive.
restrained, but still like quite bubbly and
I remember I was like, he rocked up half an hour early as well. He is actually to this day the only the earliest guest to have ever rocked up,
which is
like a full 30 minutes prior. And we get people to rock up an hour before to have it out, have a bit of a chat, bit of a drink, show them around, calm the nerves. And Chester came basically an hour and a half early. And I'm still setting everything up, and it's really quite manic. So he starts playing. What was he playing on the phone? It was all by myself.
You can't write that stuff.
No, you can't
write that stuff.
And he just lives and breathes it. All right, straight onto the comments. Kerry M. Levens saying Noah Ward MVP award. Absolutely. Ruth, Ola, Lockie George, mate. Seriously, miss you. Seriously, I had quite the headache on Tuesday, but. I got through it. Bronwyn, hi people. Hope the power lasts given the weather and gum. I completely agree with you, Bronwyn.
Yeah, you can hear the wind howling down the driveway. It's quite impressive.
The wind is definitely playing with us. We've got our lovely mate back from Twitch. Who?
Oh, Louis Broderick.
I'm pretty sure it's Louis. Surely, that's my guess at who it is. Where's the fruity Lexia? We drank it all. There's always a
still in the Riverland.
Noah is such a babe. I completely agree. Now, straight on to blind tasting, of course. All right. Oh, hello. All right. Okay. Look, straight away.
This is just one that I had in the cellar at home. That I didn't have time to. I woke up this morning and said, I should probably bring a blind tasting bottle because
we have heaps here, but you should.
But no. But it's the rules of the if you're on the show, you should bring a bottle to blind taste. That's what we ask every guest to do. So I should probably do it myself, even though I'm here, 5 days a week.
All right. Well, I'm going to shove the comments down. Laura's going to know, let you guys know at home what we're drinking. This straight off the bat, buttery shard. Really cool, well pieced together shard is where where my head's already thinking just based on smell.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. That's really yummy.
It's pretty good, hey.
That's really good. It's not as high acidity, so it kind of gives me sort of hints and to where it is, but it has a saltiness. Isn't it weird? It's not high acid, but it still has a saltiness that may be defined by maybe phenolic grip or something. All right, let's play the game. It's white wine.
Yeah, if that's red wine, wow.
But we have had that happen before.
Yeah, that was with
the Convertsy thing. Was it?
No, it was Delinquente.
That's
you
right.
guys thought it was
Negro Amaro.
Yeah, the Negro, which was delicious, but you guys thought it was an aromatic, skinsy variety.
Aromatic Convertsy, something or other.
Yeah. But yeah, okay, New World, Old World.
I think this is New World courtesy of the lower acidity.
This is a New World wine. Is this from South Africa, New Zealand, Australia?
It's Australia.
It's Australia.
Because it's low acid.
It's low acid. Is this one from Western Australia, South Australia, or New South Wales?
Ooh. Ooh. Okay, that's tough. I think it's WA, to be honest. I think it's WA because there's saltiness, lower acidity, high ripeness, and there's a liberal use of oak here. It's not too oaky. It's actually just really luscious. But I just think there's only winemakers out there that have the budget for this. And that's some good mining money, I'm going to say.
This is a South Australian one.
Cool. Okay.
This is a South Australian one.
Okay.
Are we going to the Adelaide Hills? Are we going to Langhorne Creek? Or are we going to McLaren Vale?
Not the Vale. Because, mate, if this is from the Vale, I'm very impressed because I'm yet to see Vale Chardonnay look anything like this. I'm Hills.
This is from McLaren Vale.
Oh, no. That's so cool.
Yep.
No one likes McLaren Vale Chardonnay, but this is amazing. This is actually really good. All right.
Is this Chardonnay, Roussanne, or Marsanne?
You asshole. This is Roussanne.
This is Roussanne.
Is this okay, stab at producer.
Yeah.
Amazing Roussanne from I actually I'm sure when you say I'm gonna be like, oh, of course.
Yeah.
But I think it's Yangara.
It is Yangara.
Yeah. Because they do
Money.
they don't have that money. Aren't they owned by Jackson Family Vineyards now? Yeah, they got that United States tech, .com money. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's only like $28 too. Like it's seriously good. Yeah,
that's probably, and they're doing like their sort of whole premise as well was to look at like Rhone,
particularly Southern Rhone varieties.
Southern Rhone varieties. So that obviously Grenache territory, and they're naturally going to go into Roussanne, Marsanne, and stray away from things like Chardonnay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I haven't seen this wine in a really long time.
Oh, actually, I just visited there on Saturday. I went and did the cellar door.
It's pretty cool, huh?
And we got a pearl every day because so before restrictions eased in South Australia a little bit more on Monday, we could have like kind of double, like instead of 1 per 4 square meters, it's 1 per 2 square meters. Their cellar door space inside had the capacity of 6 people, so they could. It's tiny.
Was there a lineup?
Well, no, because they were like, please book in advance.
Yep.
And since it's the middle of winter, they have this gorgeous outdoor decking area where you can kind of just sit outside, have a bit of a taste. You can see like the ceramic eggs because they champion a lot of ceramic egg use, and you can kind of just sit out there and taste the wines in this awesome environment. But like all through winter and for the last like 6 weeks, it's been just miserable every single weekend. And
it has
this weekend,
legit.
The last weekend coming, it was absolutely stunning. So we rocked up and just like, oh, can we just do a tasting? And they were like, are you happy to sit outside? I was like, yes, absolutely. So I sat on the deck and did a bit of a full tasting, and this is one of the ones I went home with.
I didn't realize this because you're Adelaide, not born but Adelaide bred. You're actually from the heartland,
from Queensland,
born
in Townsville.
But you moved here when you were very young.
I was like 3, tiny.
Because for those, because I know there's a lot of Queens, there's a lot of like East Coast types. Sorry, you're not types. You're people. You're humans. In Victoria, I'm not too sure what's going on. Neanderthals, perhaps. Just socially distanced, guys. Come on. But I didn't realize the whole winter thing until I moved here.
Yeah.
The struggle's real. Like, we don't see sun for a long time.
When you get a real Adelaide winter, it's just like it's
pretty miserable.
Honestly, I think there was
2011 maybe.
Yeah, 2011, and then we haven't had a real. I think this one's probably been one of our coldest, wettest for a while.
We've needed it. We've
absolutely needed it,
and that's been great so far. It's been awesome. But you see the tiniest lick of vitamin D shining down from above.
Everyone goes nuts. Like literally, I went to like the Wollonga's farmers market,
And everyone's
on
just
Saturday,
really happy
which is
and
why
really
it was
chirpy.
Angara afterwards. It
Yep.
was absolutely chockers.
Yeah, I can
And
imagine.
then randomly went to double up on the farmers markets this weekend. I went to the showground farmers market as well. Double that. It was absolutely insane.
Well, jumping straight into the comments, Sue and Craig here. Yep, your show has helped us through this time. Our rediscovery wine a few years ago was Barossa Semillon. Hey, cool, actually. Underrated.
Cool. Very good.
Seriously, a bit of a sleeper that was. Years ago was based out White Burgundy. That is well and truly before my time. I'm really sorry, I haven't had much of that. Great wine. Seriously, this is genuinely.
This is delicious.
This is a genuinely great
really
wine.
good.
Good taste, Noah, coming in from Lockie George.
Thanks, Lockie.
Sure, it's not just because you wanted to put on an accent. Kerry.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Come on, Bren. You know he wants to trick you. He did. He definitely did.
I wasn't like, that's just what I had, and I was like, everything else was kind of like, well, a lot of it is Unico wine. A lot of it is wine that Brennan has definitely had on the show, and then also like stuff. I'm like, no, not on a Wednesday.
No. Yeah. It's like this is definitely Friday night wines.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. This brings us to the thing that I definitely wanted to talk to you about because one of the amazing things that you bring to the team is a voice for the people, and a protection for obviously the brand as well. And the ability to be able to communicate about a lot of the esoteric shit that we get up to in a sort of broader sense. Talk to me about faux pas.
Faux pas, okay.
Faux pas. So wine faux pas. What have you seen before? Like, because we see people going, oh, can I have the Pinot Gris, please? That's a faux pas. Tempranillo, of course. Nebbiolo is always a really good. And look, that's people typically getting into wine for the first time, so it's pretty excusable.
Yeah.
You're at a restaurant. Okay. When do you send the wine back?
When it's off.
And what is determined by off? Like, is the
been
customer
open,
always right?
It's been open for 5 days.
It's been open for.
I remember this explicitly. I went to a restaurant. I think it was in like Christie's Beach or something, like near my parents' place. And like,
where all the wine.
Yeah,
is
like
consumed.
yeah. I mean, you're that close to McLaren, surely you'd have like some good stuff. But went and like the food was actually really good. The wine was okay, but so they poured me a glass of wine. I tasted it, and I was like, this has been oxidized. This has been open for like 5 days.
Oh no!
I just said, hey, can I get another glass? You need to change this bottle. This has been open for way too long. It's cooked. And they were like, yeah, no worries. And they poured me another glass. That too was oxidized and been open for way too long.
Do you reckon they went back? What do you reckon actually happened? Do you reckon
I
the same
changed
wine?
wines. I went to a completely different wine, and that was also open for way too long, and it was just cooked.
Was it? What do you remember? What I know it's an odd question, but do you remember what day of the week it was?
I reckon it was a Friday.
So do you reckon it was first day of service, and these were carryover from the last weekend?
No, they were open 7 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
No one just tasted
it. No one just tasted it. No one tasted it, and it was just one of the most crazy things. It was like, how did you do this twice? I gave you the thing that was wrong with it.
So what do you do then? Okay, what do you do then? Do you send back the second one, or do you just cop it?
I drank it. I copped it.
You copped
I copped it. Like, I was like, I clearly know what's going to happen.
How Australian of you. How Australian of you.
I was too nice. I was just like, nah, these guys, if I've pointed out the problem, they've just served me the other problem. I'm just going to drink it, shut up, and just complain later about to people and friends. Just like, let's just not go back there.
Well, I suppose that's the long-term damage for a venue if it doesn't pay attention to these sort of things, I guess. For you guys playing at home, what wine faux pas have you ever witnessed, heard of, or experienced? I want to know what your wine faux pas are. I remember a really great one from a friend of ours, actually Dom, over in Sydney.
Yeah.
Dom Coulton, who actually sells our wine, and he was having an amazing dinner this one night. And he's got his lovely wife with him. And it's a wine nerd. It's a wine nerd's dinner. Yeah. They're going out, they're having a nice meal, and they're swirling around. They're going, it smells like Brett. And should we tell the Som? Should we tell the Som? And meanwhile, his wife just indiscriminate. Will drink wine. Just like it's got we're talking about Brett. Yeah. We're talking about Brettanomyces. Brettanomyces is a little spoilage yeast that can live in wine even after it's been fermented, and it will produce these 2 particular chemicals that smell barnyardy.
and it's pretty overpowering. It's actually really
when it's bad, it's bad. When it's like dusty,
Small.
like a little bit there, it's kind of nice.
It's actually quite complexing.
Yeah.
And so, you know, she's getting on it. She's like, you know, why aren't you guys drinking enough? You know, anyway, they're like, oh, because it smells like bread. Maybe we're going to get the som over. Hang on, we're going to get the som over. And she's like, as he's walking across, right, the som's walking across the floor. She just goes, like, bursts out laughing, going, he doesn't know what bread is. He doesn't know who Brett is. Thinking that they're actually talking about their best mate, Brett. And meanwhile, the Som's like rocks up and like thinking that she's just completely dressed him down, going, this Som's absolute crap, doesn't even know how to taste a wine before. And it was at a top-end restaurant where that sort of level of service would be expected. Typical, you know, classic wine faux pas, especially when we, you know, shorten these names, things that other people don't know. Ice cubes in white wine. Faux pas or not faux pas?
I know you're pro the cubes in the white wine.
I'm pro ice cubes in white wine, but it depends.
Depends on the variety.
And it depends on the where and the why and the how. It depends on so many factors.
I reckon if you have a sub $20 bottle of either Pinot Gris, Sauvignon Blanc, or Riesling, ice cubes are on the table.
Ice cubes, yeah. Like if it's not good enough, or it's
You can probably err above $20 on the Sauvignon Blanc side of things, but everything else, like, yeah, that's it.
I'm super liberal. Obviously, if you're in a really hot, humid place, and you've gone down to local shops, as you do, you get your fish and chips, you get your Chico roll, you get your dim sum that isn't even a dim sim. It's this. How odd is that? There's dim sims.
Yeah,
they're meant to be this big, people. When you go to these corner shops, they serve you this thing like this big. I don't know where it came from.
Pork sausage.
I don't know where it came from, but you get that. You take it home, and you're like, "Hey, we're having fun. It's the weekend. Crack a bottle of wine. Crack a bottle of wine instead of having a beer. You know, because there's yeastiness, there's a lot of bubbles and a lot of protein in beer, and it kind of makes you feel pretty full. You know, and then you've got the batter and everything. It's a little bit too much. Wine's actually fantastic. High acid, cleansing, fantastic. And you know what? Basic, minimalistic styles of Sauvignon Blanc that are super cheap, poured over ice in that circumstance makes so much sense.
There is a time and a place for, like, pretty average Savvy B. There is a time and a place. They have to be, like, it's got to be sun up, really hot, preferably around a dinghy, with food only served out of paper bags. That is the time and place for, you know, sub $20 Savvy B.
Ice cubes in Riesling.
Again, sub $20.
Sub $20.
Sub $20. Maybe even sub 15, because Riesling's one of those varieties that you can actually get good quality for good value.
So why is it, another faux pas, reverse faux pas.
Yeah.
Actually, not from a customer standpoint, from a producer standpoint. Why don't producers ask, like, a fair price for white wine?
As in, like, they budgeted too low.
Well, I mean, we know
price
that,
it too low, at least.
Like, in Australia, white wine isn't revered as much as red wine is.
No,
but it can outlive it if it needed to. It is, I would argue, technically more difficult to make.
Way more.
And because of its nature, it can be technically more difficult to grow, and because of how you make it, any little bits of disease or anything inside those grapes are going to showcase themselves glaringly obvious in white wines. So why don't we ask more money for white wine in this country?
I think a lot of it comes down to is, like, you can see the investment that you put in to your wine, and, like, a lot of great, you know, well priced white wine is just, like, it's literally grapes fermented in stainless steel. So you can't add your oak budget, and you can't add your maturation budget, and it's like you look at something like Riesling. You get it, you press it into stainless steel, you ferment it till dry, and then you bottle it, and it's done. It's like you can put in the cost basically of, like, how much do you pay for the fruit, your markup for profit, and then you can take away your costs and stuff like that, and then go.
So do you think, and this is the you know, okay, I'll say it again in a different thing, because we're one of the few countries that do this, and it's so Australian of us. Yes. Firstly, if a wine is faulty, you know, like, what's wrong with going up and saying, hey, look, I know I would complain about last wine. I'm genuinely not trying to be an asshole here. The second wine's also oxidized, and you can see it for yourself. And they will probably at that point go, oh, we don't know what wine tastes like. They'll probably admit it themselves. You know, when it comes to we had this actually happen to us where we didn't have a price rise of our entry-level wines on a wholesale perspective.
No.
For like 5 years. And I don't know anything about, anything really, but
I think you know a bit about
there's something called inflation, and it devalues. There is an acceptable level of that people would, and we have also grown and been out of scale a little bit, which means that we've sort of held the price because we want to offer value, but we offered it was a very small. It was like a 5% price rise, and the distributor that we were offering the price rise to, literally came straight back to us and said, "Look, you need to submit this form." That outlines exactly what added expenses that we have incurred that would predetermine that this price rise is ample. And I thought it was just a really odd thing. I'm like, how about scarcity? How about the fact that you can't find any more 1945 planted bush vines of Bebo in the world? Like, how about some sort of value apportioned to something that's not tangible? Is it Aussie of us? I don't think this happens to go, look, the price has gone up and I'm really sorry, but all of these costs are happening to me. What about confidence in brand? What about confidence in flavor? What about, hey, our wines are just really good and a lot of people really like it. And unfortunately, that means that they're going to be harder to get, and to be able to slow that down and give people a fairer chance throughout the whole year.
I think people are terrified of the other side of it, I guess. Like, because it's like, you look at the price rises at a coffee shop and people lose their minds. Coffee will go from $4.20 to $4.50, and the place will crumble. Like, it's
really,
it's 30. I remember watching. I was on Instagram. It was Exchange Coffee.
Yep.
So basically, they announced it's like, hey, as of the beginning of this new financial year, our prices will rise by X amount due to inflation, increasing wage costs, XYZ. And someone...
So they had to justify the crap out of it, basically.
Well, no, they just basically said... They literally posted something basically saying, we're increasing our prices. These are the reasons... they didn't say what the reasons were for it, but they kind of had a loose idea. And then someone in the comments just like, $5.50 for a double shot latte? Are you fucking serious? And then they've just gone, okay, let's break it down. So you, like,
I saw this. I think I saw this.
It was like, this is the cost of coffee. This is the cost of, this is what we have to make on each coffee to pay our rent. This is the, this is what we did previous to this, to the new financial year. And this is what we're doing now. As you can see, the rises are aligned.
Yep.
We're not making any more money. Everything else has just gotten more expensive. Fuck you. People freak out with price rises, particularly in Australia, I reckon.
Now, what we were doing something recently that someone called us out on when we announced that for certified, as a part of certified B Corp status, a big part of what we believe in is being giving to charity. And one of those charities that we thoroughly believe in is 1% for the Planet, which is 1% of a company's revenue turnover to be given to a charity to go outside. And we got teared apart in social media on this. There was a couple of really irate people that were like, 1%, could be a little bit more. And I was like, I think there's a fundamental disconnect between 1% of profit and 1% of revenue. The reason why we do revenue is, hey, look, it is the first day of the new financial year today. Yay!
Press play! Shout out to your accountants out there. Hope you're having a good day. Big business, surely.
But I mean, yesterday, of course, I would hazard a guess, being a small business owner as well as many of the other small business owners, and any business owner would be obviously trying to lower their taxable income through various deductions. In particular, at this moment in time, there's a lot coming in from the government. So profits, you always at the end of financial year, and it's hard because we both come from the sales and marketing aspect, so we're like trying to sell more. We'll see candidates are like, please don't. And you're like, not right now. Not right now. But the whole idea is that profits get driven down by any company, and there are many super, super large companies around the world that drive down their profits, and I think it's very controversial because they don't pay any tax. But no company ever wants to drive down their revenue. No company wants to be like, well, we just didn't sell that much this year. Just really there's no mechanism to drive down revenue. and nor would you want to. So it's 1% of revenue, and I sort of broke it. It was like of all people, it was a chef.
Yeah,
that really sort of ripped us apart, and was saying that you could give a lot more. And I'm like, okay, and it was for Coral, our newly released gin for Applewood, where obviously half the price of that wine goes in excise just straight away.
Gin.
Gin.
That half price of that gin is excise.
Yeah. Not wines are a fair bit different. And then sort of working backwards and like, look, if you're a restaurant, most restaurants operate on what, like 9% gross profit. If you gave away,
yeah, but look at the cost of food. Like again, that's another thing people freak out about prices for. It's like, you say that much for that? Like where it's food, yeah, when you can just justify it. But yeah, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, but there's also like lower cost of like if the cost of living was lower and wages could be afforded to be lower, so people could live a quality of life, then the food could be lower at a restaurant. But it can't, because you need to pay the chef, the wait staff, you got to pay all these, the rent, the freaking rent.
When the rent prices are going up by this much, and you're like, and the costs of goods are only increasing, like, you know, that kind of like one's going faster than the other, and you just can't make enough profit because people freak out and say, I'm not earning enough money. Wage costs aren't going up, so people don't have enough as much casual income, I guess, or expendable income. So, yeah. It's wild.
But I mean, you get teared apart for these things, you know, like slight price rise. But again, why white wine? Why does white wine get a bad rap and red wine is like the proper raw?
We have the issue with our sales side of things. It's like we just don't have enough red wine. We produce more Fiano than we do anything else.
Yeah,
really. Yeah. Like we make so much white wine because we love making it, we love drinking it. That's kind of our thing. But people are like, we want Truffle Hound, we want Cherry Fields, or Jungle. We want, like all of that stuff. It's like, where are those wines? It's like, well, okay, wait a little bit, scarcity, vintage, all that kind of stuff. But I think that since we've established that kind of notoriety in Australia for great red wine, like full-bodied, punchy, juicy,
for sure,
red wine, it's now part of the culture. And then now when I reckon you'd ask most, people that are like, 16, 17, 18, when they first start trying wine, or
try red wine. It's just
they'll try red wine before they try white wine. But I think
Do you reckon there's a hang up from like the 70s or 80s, and possibly even now?
Probably the 90s,
where it's like to drink red wine means that you're more manly. That white wine was a little bit sort of camp or something like
dainty.
That. Yeah. And it's sort of like this sort of hang up, because I mean I would definitely put my hand up and say I drink far more white wine by value and volume than I do red wine.
I 100% agree with that. I'm the exact same. I drink more white wine than I do red wine. Mainly, I don't know, it's like if it's acid, maybe it's
lusciousness and freshness and like drinkability.
Yeah, I feel like I'm always in the mood for white wine, whereas I'm like only rarely I'm in the mood for red wine.
So could Australia's famous feather in the cap be a white wine?
I think some of them are. I mean, you look at, Margaret River Chardonnay, or you look at Adelaide Hills Savvy B.
Or
Hunter Semillon.
Polesher Riesling.
Yeah, Hunter Semillon.
Okay, another spanner in the works then. Could Australia's, feather in the cap not just be white wine, but be fortified white wine? Because it was.
Yeah.
For like 100 years. It was Fino style sherries or what we call peras.
Yeah. I personally don't think so, because I feel like when I enjoy those wines, it's, around food, or it's not one of those
prior to food. It's very specific.
Prior to or something like that. It's more of a niche category, I guess, of when you want to enjoy it. Whereas something like, a dry white wine, I could drink at any point in the day. Like breakfast white wines are sometimes pretty sick. It's just got to be the right variety. The white wine, the right white wine. I think dry wines is the way to go. I just think we're still working on what that wine is.
Yeah, I think there's a lot, and that's probably for me what's most thrilling about Australian wine is actually how much room there is to discover. We're still on the initial discovery of this. Jicky Hill's chiming in. Overheard at the cellar door. How do they get the pineapple in there? Have you? Because you've worked in the bar for almost a year. How did you end up getting any stupid questions? I mean, silly questions like that.
Mostly to do with spirits because the cellar door is spirits focused.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love that coffee gin.
Oh yeah.
Love
Oh yeah.
that
We get
coffee
the
gin.
coffee gin a lot. That's
It's
right.
like,
Yeah.
As soon as it's
not gin.
We're a gin distillery. It's a coffee spirit. It must be a coffee gin.
Yeah.
No. Coffee and juniper together. No, probably not. Actually, I haven't experimented with that, but for me, probably not.
Probably not. The interesting thing there, Jicky, is it's technically not incorrect. Do you know this? So quite often in the realms of perfumery, and indeed actually the Australian Wine Research Institute, the AWRI, they do a lot of research in this field where they do something called headspace chromatography. So what they do is they shove this liquid into essentially it's like under vacuum, bit of heat into it, so it starts to essentially distill at a very low temperature, and they analyze the gas. So it's what they call gas mass spectrometry gas chromatography, I think. But basically, it goes through a series of these little tubes that separate out all the different molecules, and you can literally sit at the back end of GCMS, gas chromatography mass spec. Yeah, that's right. And you can sit at the other end of this machine and there's like a sniffing port, and you can literally sniff as they separate the different molecules out from the headspace. Now, everything around you technically turns to gas at all the time. These are just a little bit more what they call volatiles that turn to gas at room temperature. That's why when you heat things up, or indeed, and we're talking like on a molecular basis, the tiniest amount of friction generates the tiniest amount of heat, which generates the tiniest amount of more volatility. So doing this is what causes a bit of friction. Do you know that? Bit of friction, bit of heat, bit of up there. Bit of science, mate. Bit of science, mate.
Yeah.
And indeed, the smell of things like lactones. We've used the word lactones on the show before, especially to describe something like vanilla, oak. Vanillin is in the class of molecules known as lactones, and that's why sometimes milk drinks and stuff like that, they smell a little bit vanilla-y. Yeah. Vanillin itself is a lactone that occurs obviously in wine when a wine is matured in oak.
American oak. Sorry, what?
Well, no, you get comparatively more in American oak than you. So when people go, "Oh, is the pineapple actually in the wine?" Is that, you know, Laura and I have had before, like, how did the strawberry get in the wine? And whilst it is like a really sort of like, you could laugh at it, absolutely. And these people are just getting into wine for the first time, and it is a faux pas. But technically, the molecule that you'll smell, all humans are actually wired the same. They've proven this. So as opposed to color blindness, there is no such thing as smell blindness. There is one very, very niche illness, very niche condition where you'll smell...
Anosmia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
I watched this television show. It's called Scrubs.
Wow. No way. It's literally, you know how niche it is? There's only 7 people proven globally that have ever actually shown up a case of this, anosmia.
It's sometimes it's a symptom.
Yeah, right,
and
okay.
it gets thrown in, like, you know, sometimes people have, you know, like aneurysms or strokes and stuff like that, and it goes in and out. Like, it's like, oh, I can't smell anything. Then anosmia occurs, and then most of the time it kind of sorts itself out.
Yep. Well, there is like people that have been in car accidents and stuff, and they've been permanently rewired, and they smell things as other things. And that's really fucked up, right? Yeah. Especially if, like, you've had a couple of curries the night before, and, you know, you walked in on your husband and you're like, oh, it smells like roses. It just doesn't. I assure you it doesn't. But anyway,
That's a pretty well put together joke there.
But we're all actually largely wired the same. So when you're actually smelling pineapples, you're literally smelling what you would smell if you smelt a pineapple. And I mean literally. You're smelling the same aroma molecules on both instances. So it's actually that I think that's kind of cool. Probably in the size.
You're a nerd.
Shit, I'm a massive,
like
massive nerd.
Geek.
Cheval Blanc in the polystyrene milkshake cup. Faux pas: drinking wine out of receptacles.
Not wine glasses.
That are not stemmed wine glasses.
Not a faux pas.
Not a faux pas.
A priority.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Like, it depends. Like, If you're at if you're at the dinner table or a nice restaurant, yeah, sure. If you're anywhere else than that, find anything.
Yeah, find it anything. I'm into tumblers.
Tumblers are good.
I enjoy drinking wine out of a tumbler. Stemless glassware, I definitely enjoy. We do it for
Afternoon
the show for
walks
stem
out of
stuff,
the keep cup.
Keep cup's really good. Camelback. Anyway, not necessarily a faux pas. I mean, Cheval Blanc is, I think, a faux pas because you would want something like these are actually quite purposeful. They're not just to look wanky and shit. It prevents the heat from your hand from influencing the actual wine itself, the heat of the wine, and so you're able. And obviously,
Wouldn't the polystyrene do that?
The polystyrene would probably, but the ability to be able to swirl, and also I think probably the key thing with something like a Cheval Blanc, especially an aged Cheval Blanc, would be the appreciation of color, which is the reason why we use
that white. Look down.
yeah.
I'm pointing out.
And there's actually we should get some. Actually, I reckon. No, we should get some Cheval Blanc. Yes. No, we should get some. I think they're pronounced Tastavant. Which are sommeliers and cellar crew would often use this thing that would hang around their neck. It's a small thing made out of, I think, silver or pewter, where it's very small and it's got like a very ornate design in, and they would actually take a sample off like a barrel, and somms would also come along and do like a sample to determine the clarity of the wine. And that's not dissimilar to getting some Cheval Blanc and only like pouring a little bit in the polystyrene cup to appreciate the color prior to actually drinking it.
This is like people at cellar doors getting the wine glass and get like a white piece of paper and be like this.
Yeah, basically, you should give them...
In my mind, that's a faux pas.
That's a faux pas.
Stupid.
That's a faux pas. Like, what are you going to do? Like, you know what? It's the wrong color.
It's like, this Shiraz shouldn't look like this. This shouldn't look like this.
No. When you use the word shouldn't...
Yeah.
That's the annoying faux pas. And people are like, it shouldn't do it. It's like, what do you know?
Yeah.
And doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Taste the fucking thing.
I once poured Slate Farm for someone in my family and they were like, why is it that color?
It's so yellow.
Yeah, it's quite yellow. It's quite
yellow. Oh, it's oxidized. Oh, does it taste oxidized though? No. Oh, wow. We're magicians.
Yeah, I know. Magic.
At a tasting in the Hunter Valley, someone at the table next to us having a guided tasting said, how did the scientists get the pineapple in the wine?
We just answered that.
Yes, we did.
Stephen
and Jicky, so accurate. It is not necessarily incorrect, but it is definitely a faux pas, I think. Brendan, I live in a bubble carter. Yes, I do. It's called Gumaraka. Cellar door staff being under par. Visited a very, very highly regarded producer in Santa Barbara, and the cellar door manager served corked wine. The bottle was also almost empty too.
We had that as well. We had that at a cellar door in the Barossa, and it was only like a dusting of cork. But Laura was just like, we were on like a staff do, and she was like, well, "What's wrong with this one?" It's just like, it feels a bit weird. She's like,
I was there.
We were all there.
We were all there.
Yeah,
you were there, and you were there, and you were there. Yes. Yeah, it was corked. Did we tell them?
No.
Didn't
tell them.
No, we didn't. It could have
because it was their like $100-ish bottle of wine. So like, that's sad.
Visited a very reputable winemakers in Cellador in McLaren Vale on a Wednesday. Took visitors, told them the wines were amazing. All we tasted were oxidized. Guests walked away thinking they were rubbish. And that's actually probably like I imagine that could have been carryover from the prior weekend. I reckon. Like I think a lot of cellar doors, like cellar doors I've worked in before, do this thing where they're like, we have X amount of bottles to open for the week.
Yeah.
We don't practice that. I mean, we openly do the opposite. I'm like, look, if it looks solid, just open another one.
Even if it was the next,
open another one.
Even if it was the next day, it's just like, nah, new one. Taste it. Are you confident in it? No, open a new one.
Open a new one. We just do. Is your mic on?
God damn.
All right, Laura goes, we distill the wine to make coffee gin. No, because we actually save all the wine that is utilized or not, I guess, not utilized in its appropriate fashion in our cellar door and bar, and we just distill it. Makes sense.
Upcycling.
Just say we'll drink Faber's Granite Belt Semillon.
Sick.
Cool.
That checks out.
That checks out a lot, actually. That makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Yeah, if it works in the Hunter, it surely would work in Granite Belt.
Twitch, man. White wine is for old people. No, white wine's for anyone. Always in the mood for white wine. Karen has answered from Facebook. I totally agree. I have a friend who has no smell and therefore has virtually no taste. I feel so seriously. It is like that is quite.
That's
upsetting.
my idea of hell.
I was once asked, would you prefer
Yeah.
would you prefer like to go blind or to like it was a question I actually asked my music teacher at school. It was like, you know, what would you prefer, go deaf or to go blind? She's like, I'll go blind any day if it means that I don't lose the sense of hearing. And there's obviously, and for me, going blind is like terrifying.
Yeah.
Until I really learned how to develop my sense of smell.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you know what, I could be a blind guy, but if I could cook like a mean rabbit ragu, you know, if I could still find that way to be able to...
That was the first dish that came to mind, was rabbit ragu.
I don't know.
Weird cravings for that.
I wouldn't, look, like curries and like highly aromatic Thai food, Mexican food, you know.
Yeah, I think I think out of all of the senses, I reckon blindness would be the first to go.
Faux pas. Proposed faux pas. Mm-hmm. I've been known to pour wine into a drink bottle so I can take it to a hotel spa that has no glass rules.
Not a faux pas.
Not a faux pas.
Strategic win.
Fucking hack.
Yeah, well done.
You just hacked the system, Karen. Yeah. And we are all very impressed.
Good ideas to hide booze is great. I'm into it completely.
You've obviously gone to music festivals before.
Yes.
Yeah. Cans inside.
I've got a really good one. For this. So me and a few of my friends went to a Faux festival. Mm-hmm. So basically, they you can't bring any booze on site. No booze on site, which is but you go into the music festival, every beverage is like $12. And they're all terrible. And
you get charged a fortune to entrant.
So basically, and then they announced like pretty much 3 days before, it's like, these are the what's going to happen if we catch you with booze. We will confiscate your tickets, booze. We will call the authorities and give you like a $10,000 fine. It's like, fuck, okay, these guys are serious. This is not one of those like, nice try, chuck it out kind of things. Let's get serious about this. So the cars that we drove in, so we drove from Adelaide to the festival in Lorne. The cars we drove in, both of the friends we had 4 people, 2 cars. They both drove Subaru WRXs.
Right.
So already quite fun. They both had nice speaker systems, big subwoofers in the back. So we drive there. Everything's all good. One of my friends has a car accident like about 2 weeks before we go. So in the back, he gets rear-ended like a traffic light or something like that. So he's got a dented back boot. We pull into a town, probably about an hour and a half outside of Lorne. Just get out, stretch our legs after driving for like probably 6 or 7 hours or something ridiculous like that. Try to open the boot, and the latch is buggered. So all of our stuff's in there, like bags, like everything's in there. I missed a crucial part of the story. Which is
rewind.
Sorry. So these big subwoofers. Our idea was to hide our alcohol in the subwoofers.
Yeah, and the empty space behind it. Obviously, because there's a lot of empty space behind the subwoofer.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we still wanted to listen to music while we were driving, so you can't have like the rattle against glass bottles of like gin and alcohol, gin and vodka or whatever. So we drained out the liquids of our like tonic bottles, and then put the gin in there and put that inside the subwoofers. So literally just like 1.5 liter bottles of just like lined in the subwoofers. One of the most it's eight separate screws to get the front off.
So you guys were like, this was like a concerted effort.
Yeah. We were serious. We weren't mucking about. So we had these, but however many liters of just like spirit lining the subwoofers, and we get to we get an hour and a half outside the festival, and my friend can't open his boot because the boot latch is done. So it's like, fuck, what are we gonna do? Like he figured out he can shut it, he can't. So he's opened it and he can't shut it. So basically, he's gone in through the back way, through the back seats, crawled through, opened it up, and it's like, okay, cool, we can get in, but we can't close it back up properly. So we have to zip tie it shut from the inside.
Right.
So we've taken out all of our bags, all of our other shit, and just tried to stuff it. So I'm sitting in the front seat, like carrying a suitcase full of clothes and stuff like that, because we can't put anything in the back seat, in the
back seat.
So in the boot.
In the boot.
Because we won't be able to use it. So he's gone to unzip tied. We'll have to do it all over again if we cut the zip ties.
Yeah.
So we get to the festival, where it's chock full of, all of this bags everywhere. Get in line. The security guard comes around. He's like, "Can you open your boot?"
Right? No.
It's like, "No. Here's the story. We've got it locked up with." We had this issue. Like it's zip tied shut, and we try. It's like, look.
So immediately
here's the problem. It's like if we open it, you've kind of screwed us over because we have to go through again and do the whole situation. It takes like 45 minutes. It's a real pain in the ass. It's like, so please, like we promise that there's nothing in there. Can you just please just not check? We'll let you check everything else. Just don't check the boot. And he's just like, yeah, no worries. And we get in, and it's like, oh, cool, got away with it. Get in there, cut the zip tie, open up the subwoofers, get the booze out, and it's just like, yeah, right, cool, snuck it in, fantastic. So hopefully there's a statute of limitations on this. And then we get there, and we realize we just go, oh fuck, we could have loaded the booze up with so many tinnies.
Well, Supersonic Turtle 02 from Twitch said, when my dad wanted me to can up a litre of gin for a glasses event, I'm pretty confident that was actually for a cruise. I was around for that. And this is Kerry chiming in, was working at Sturt Street Cellars. And it's actually pretty cool. It's like, I know, rest in peace, absolutely. And Kerry was, they have like a Cannibal.
Yeah.
So, which is like basically litre cans. It's sort of like a canned version of a growler, but smaller, slightly smaller. And Rich and Louise were going on a cruise.
Yeah.
And I think they could only bring they bought the package to get booze and stuff like that. And they try to, get you into buying these packages.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, but you can bring cans of stuff. You can bring cans of, you bring your own sort of.
Oh my God.
And so.
I just figured out this.
Yeah. And so to deliver a whole bunch of gin down to Sturt Street Cellars to be canned into 1 litre can.
Yeah, because Sturt Street Cellars had a crowler machine.
Yeah.
So basically,
it's called a Cannibal.
Yeah. So they had the tap, so you could you fill up your beers off tap.
Yeah.
Get it in the can and can it up. Shut.
And it cans the thing, and it's like a litre. It's a litre can. Yeah. Amazing.
Incredible.
Amazing.
Richard, kudos. Very
so
good.
All right. Yeah. We have 8 minutes left. Noah, it is time to choose.
Let's do it.
What is going to be the blind tasting wine for this evening? What are you feeling? Crowler machine sales increased 300% in the States thanks to COVID. That makes total sense because the ability to have draft beer in a can.
Yeah, the best.
The best. And the people in the States clearly understand that. Clearly understand. Frozen G&T and Mount Franklin bottles in the food esky also works.
Very.
Karen!
How cold is your freezer? Oh no, the tonic.
Karen is the ultimate hacker for these things. I
Very
feel
good.
Good boy, Noah. Chloe Eckert.
Hi, Chloe. Miss you. Hope you're well.
That's so good. Faux pas with wine. Decanting the sparkling wine.
Well, yeah, that's just there's just things that people don't do that are kind of weird. My thing is just like, what are the wine wankery things, like the kind of the old school wine wankery things that you just really don't like, that kind of don't really like for us.
Getting you to taste the wine is actually one thing that I think should just fuck off out of restaurants.
What do you mean?
When they go, sir, please, would you taste the wine?
Yeah.
And you're like, you're a som, you're paid a decent amount of money, you taste the fucking wine.
Yeah.
And I find that really quite, hey, I'm a wine person. I don't mind tasting wine before. I don't mind if it gets poured out. If it's shit, it's still going to be sent back.
Yeah.
That doesn't actually bother me.
You know what frustrates me is trying to do something, I get it. Sometimes when you want to taste if a wine's corked or not, just to make sure if it is okay.
This is fun.
Oh my Jesus. Okay.
This is fun.
One of my the tasting thing basically stemmed when all of the wines were in cork, and you wanted to sir, please double check for me that the wine is corked, and you taste the wine, it's like, that is fine, please pour it. I think that's the way at least I interpret it. And when you do the screw cap and do the same thing, kind of, bit of a
when someone goes
thing.
Here, what could possibly be wrong with that wine technically? And I think it is blind faith in the screw cap.
Yeah.
which is dangerous.
Yeah.
And it's part and parcel. It's a very small reason why we use corks, because we make wine in a bit of a risque way.
Yeah.
And if someone tastes a wine and kind of go, it's just not their thing. It happens. It's fine.
Yeah.
But quite often they'll go, must have been the cork. You know what? We'll just try a different wine.
Yeah, of course.
But if it was a screw cat, the first thing would be like, it must have been the producer.
Yeah. Someone's gone horribly wrong.
We will never try that producer again. And it is sort of like blind faith in anything is wrong. Absolutely. But I mean, look, even like, I don't know, it depends on the wine style, it depends on the winemaker. Yeah. I mean, you know, again, if a som is paid, you know, a solid amount of cash in a restaurant, they're actually quite an investment for any restaurant to undergo. You know, it is, for me, I'm like, don't give them the option to taste the wine. Let the som taste it. They know what's up. All right, Laura, are we playing the game?
We're on.
We're on? All right. I'm going to say it's red.
Yeah, it's red. Ooh, yes. That is really good.
Yeah, it's red.
Is it New World or Old World?
I'm going to say Old World.
I'm going straight to Old World.
It is Old World.
Smell that for hours. I reckon this is so closed.
Just leave it open for now.
Is it Spanish, Italian, or French?
It's Italian.
Yeah, I reckon it's Italian.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We're definitely not giving this justice because it is very cold and it's only just been opened.
All right. Is this from Piemonte, Campania, or Chianti?
I'm going to let Noah answer first.
Okay. I reckon this is really quite tricky.
Okay.
I would be surprised if it's from Campania because I haven't tasted many red wines from Campania that are anywhere near like this. To be honest, I've probably only tasted mostly Fiano from Campania. You know, tannins high, you know. Super high. Which, you know, could go either way.
The Chianti, like it could be like a...
Yeah. It could be Neb.
Top end Sangio.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of...
It's pretty ballsy tannin, man.
I know. And what I see, now I'm trying to play the game, you know, like it's of being on that side. I'm like, my gut tells me Nebbiolo, but what if it's Sanj?
Always need to go with your gut.
Yeah, go with the gut and say, I'm gonna go Piemonte.
I'm mimicking that. I'm firmly Piemonte.
That is correct.
Okay, good. Yeah, I gotta stop doing the double guess. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
go with the gut.
So, is it Dolcetto, Barbera, or Nebbiolo?
Oh, fuck.
And that's actually, it's not Barbera. But I'm up in the air between Dolcetto and Nebbiolo, to be honest, because both of those varieties, when handled pretty liberally, can be this tannic. But I just think a producer that sends out a Dolcetto that looks like this.
It's too pencil shaving-y.
Yeah, but there's producers that will send their Dolcetto to cask, like their fresh cask, like, you know, when they turn over the cask and they get brand new cask, which are going to give like a lot of pencil shavings.
Yeah.
I know there's Bretzer do this with their cask. They do Dolcetto first for the first 3 years, Barbera, then Nebbiolo. So the Dolcettos tend to be a little bit more tannic and they tend to be a little bit more lifted. So it could be like a Bretzer style Dolcetto. I'm I'm just going to go Neb because of the tannin, but I've just got something nagging in the back of my mind that it's like a Bretzer style Dolcetto.
Look, I agree that I reckon it's probably Neb, but just for the sake of the game, I'm going to go Dolcetto.
It's Nebbiolo.
Okay, cool. All right.
Is it 13, 15, or 17?
17 would be so fresh. Like for I suppose it could be like a young Lunga Nebbiolo. I think it's
17. I'm gonna go
17.
Correct.
Oh, nice. All right.
All right, stab it, producer.
Okay, Laura, you know me. Do I know the producer?
Yes.
Fudge, knuckle.
I'll give you a hint.
Yeah, give us options because I definitely don't.
Oh, that's too much of a hint. I already know what it is. It's Bretzer.
But you can talk about that.
That's Bretzer. So this is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Wow, cool. Vincent Rosalia. That's pretty cool. That's what like it's the Nebbiolo d'Alba declassified. They do some really cool stuff. They're actually based in the township of Barolo as well. One of the few producers based in Barolo. Very cool. Obviously one of my favorites, absolutely favorite loves. This here, Nebbiolo d'Alba. But Laura, which unfairly gave it away because I was enjoying the challenge. It definitely couldn't have been. It definitely couldn't have been Vira, and I was in a couple of arms. A couple of things.
That's so cool.
It's super fun. It's super fun. That's, and I'm not too sure what the price on this is, but they're actually not that expensive. Again, this is another Vieri Perbacco price point lineup that we had the other day with Lockie George. Like these are amazing, like just fucking outrageously good value for people that are like, you know what, I've never tried Barolo before, I'm gonna give this a crack. Both this and the Perbacco or the Albe from Vira are like probably my three that I kind of put up there and go, they're the ones you want to try.
Yeah.
This here though, have you seen this?
Do you want my you know what, winemaker's faux pas, or bottling line faux pas is wax dipping those.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Fuck
really shit.
you.
I'm saying it breaks corkscrews and everything. It's
Like,
so bad. It's so bad.
It's like, why can't I?
This is a Vino lock. So this is a little glass closure. But I'm going to talk about this on a different night because I'm acutely aware that Henry's trying to hit the stream button for Applewood. We're chewing too much time. We've been talking too much.
Oh,
Guys,
he's got a good episode tonight.
He's got a really good episode, so I don't want to chew into that. So hang around, stay around, because Henry's going to do some really fun stuff with Applewood. Guys, thank you so much. Noah, thank you so much.
Same here, same time next Monday. Just not on camera.
That's right. Laura, thank you so much for playing producer tonight. You've been absolutely fantastic. And cracking this wine in particular, that was a team effort.
That was my
from
choice,
both of you. Anyway, guys, we'll catch you on Monday. Catch you soon.
Now we're going live. Now you can see us going live. That's the chat. That's the chat right there. So it'll do its thing. And that's us on Restream. Hello! Fucking welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh my God, hello. And welcome to everyone on Instagram. Welcome to everyone watching across the interwebs on the wide world of alcoholic beverages. That is the OK Fine Stream. Katarina, hello, Gabriella. Supersonic Turtle. Oh my God, Kerry is going to go mad for you. Kerry works with us. Yeah, well, she's actually Supersonic Turtle, but she's going to want to ask a lot of questions about gospel. Like
Absolutely.
a lot of questions.
Shoot away, Kerry.
Yeah, we are going to deep dive a little bit into gospel tonight. We'll also have some tasty beverages, which we're already enjoying. If you don't know who this man is, that's totally fine. Not all of us know who everyone is. This is the wonderful Zach, who is the global brand ambassador. Yeah, global.
Whatever you want to call it.
We'll say global.
The only one.
Yeah, exactly. You're the brand ambassador for the gospel rye whiskey.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah?
Gospel
Cool.
rye.
I wanted to get that right. I'm sorry about. I didn't want to just say the gospel whiskey because that doesn't really tell the full story.
No, all of our
what
whiskey
gospel
will
is.
be rye.
Yeah,
Predominantly based
which is banging.
entirely.
Holy crap! Like there are so few rye producers in Australia. Like you guys are really trying to pioneer something.
A handful
is
of great
awesome.
ryes out there, but ours runs a special track, even though there's a lot of great ryes in Australia. We're really happy with what we've come up with here as the gospel.
Yeah, 100%. Now, where did like the gospel come from? Like
The gospel, yeah,
can you-
absolutely.
Because like, why is it so religious?
It's not. It's not necessary. It is
Yeah.
and it's not. So
Yeah,
it
cool.
allows us to have a lot of fun with the naming and stuff like that. But the gospel as a brand is actually going to the definition of the gospel as a truth.
Yeah,
And
cool.
we're going back to the colonial times in America before there was even bourbon. When America was first settled and original 13 colonies, Pennsylvania and Maryland included in there, they started making whiskey. They weren't making whiskey from corn. These were Dutch and Scottish settlers. And what they were making whiskey with was rye first.
Yeah.
And Maryland and Pennsylvania were the home of that. And 100% rye was one of the big bits. They were making some classic blends with corn and rye.
Yeah.
And then later, Kentucky became a state, and the government actually gave people land in Kentucky for free. And that's when a lot of these people moved out there. Financially was the best option. Started growing corn. And that's when bourbon really came to be, or before it was even called bourbon. It was made in that
It's
bourbon
just
area.
corn liquor, baby. That's what it
And
was.
So we call it the gospel, as in the truth, the true original American whiskey.
Yeah, for real, 100%.
And that whiskey itself, in addition to that, we wanted to get down to is like, that was the whiskey that was used in a lot of these classic cocktails that we all know that are staples, the old fashions, the Manhattans, what have you, whiskey sours.
Yeah.
Bourbon was a tiny thing back
Man,
then.
bourbon
It
was
didn't
a
even
side thought.
exist.
Bourbon didn't even
And
come
so
into
we
it.
wanted to kind of bring back that renaissance, but make it all Australian.
Yeah, awesome, man. Hello to Kirsten. Wonderful to have you as always. And hello to Emma as well. Welcome. We're here with the amazing Zach from The Gospel.
The gospel.
The Gospel rye whiskey tonight. We're going to be serving up some rye drinks. Now I know we mostly go toward gin in this I suppose web series that it's now become. We're at episode 62.
Now we're swinging to the other side.
Oh man, it's like episode 62. Like you think we might have covered everything. I don't think we've actually had a rye whiskey producer on. You were the first rye whiskey producer that we've had on, which is pretty banging.
Well, like we said, there's only a handful in Australia.
Yeah, this is very true. But it's pretty freaking sweet. So if you are a massive fan of whiskey, do ask some questions. Let us know what you're drinking tonight as well, because we're already getting on. We've already had our first cocktail made. We had it pre-made. Now what? Yeah, you made this as the simple one for tonight.
I made all my drinks pretty simple that anyone can really make.
Yeah, cool.
I've worked in bars, been in bars, and it's amazing what people can do with time and equipment. But I wanted to make a few drinks tonight that anyone can make.
Yeah, for real.
And it just hit everyone's palate at different points. And I wanted to start off with the simplest, most classic thing ever, with the variation on the old fashioned. I mean, old fashioned has 3 basic ingredients, right?
Yeah.
Spirit, whiskey is the classic, and in this case, gospel straight rye, bitter, and sweet. So in this, we can actually harness it down to 2 ingredients, which is the gospel straight rye as the hero in this one. Sorry.
No.
And punching through all that with the bitter and the sweet is the Archive Aussie Amaro.
Yeah, man.
It's got that light sweetness to it as well, with those rich Aussie botanicals making that bitter line there. So within that, you've got the 2 parts of the old fashioned done.
Yeah, kind of like done in the same thing, which is pretty dope.
Anyone can make this at home in a 60ml pour. Just 50 mils and
yeah.
10 mils, pour it in a glass, give it a stir, twist an
Epic.
orange over it, and you've got your own all Australian old fashioned.
It's damn tasty. I'm quite enjoying it, to be perfectly frank. But I love whiskey. Whiskey was like my first love. Like seriously, whiskey was my first love. Like gin's great.
Ruined your life.
Yeah. But seriously, like unreal, and like what you guys have done is pretty sensational. Are you guys using all American oak for everything that you do as well? Or are you dabbling in different oaks?
Primarily, the majority of the things we make at the distillery are aged in brand new American oak. But
Yeah,
that's where our SKUs kind of break off. We only came out in September, and we started off with the Gospel Solera Rye. And that spirit is actually, in this country, Australia, it isn't actually classified as a whiskey.
Yeah.
Though in the US and most countries out there it would be.
Yeah.
But it has spirit in it that is under 2 years.
Yeah, cool.
So we age that in a 2-story Solera system. So what it is it's 20 barrels stacked on top of each other.
Sick.
And when we put whiskey in those barrels and we get ready to bottle, we actually pull only a portion of that out.
Yeah.
This is inspired by the Solera systems of fortified wine. And that spirit that we pull out then gets laid in another run of about 10 barrels.
Yeah, cool.
Of American oak as well. Those are reused. Those are third fill, because it's kind of almost like a blending tank.
Yeah, 100%.
And then that gets moved to a tank. And in those second barrels, half of the last batch is in there.
Yeah.
Half of the Solera system is full, and half of the next tank is full. So it kind of gets blended and Solera'd in 3 times.
Yeah,
other than the barrels themselves, which are 20 high.
Yeah.
And so in that system as a whole, we actually found that first fill American oak barrels for all 18 American oak barrels was too intense, because that's like a fresh tea bag, right? So we started, it's actually an arrangement of first fill, second fill, and third fill.
Yeah, cool. All
which
right.
gives us the context we're looking for. And down at the bottom there's actually 2 natural red wine casks.
Oh, cool.
Which are from South Australia.
Oh, awesome.
And so those casks add that subtle notes of French oak and just those subtle red wine notes. Nothing massive.
Yeah.
They're a small part of it, and those casks are not fresh. So they're not sopping in red wine.
No.
They've been seasoned and redone. But
awesome.
So that has a blend of all different, but majority American oak.
Yeah.
And the majority of our whiskey we make goes to our straight rye though.
Yeah, awesome.
And the straight rye is a straight rye by all intents and purposes, which is a legal binding statement in the United States, which means it has to go into barrel at 62.5%, which both of our spirits do. And then it has to be aged in new American oak, which every drop of that is. Yeah. And then it has to be over 2 years old. Yeah. And so this one is over 2 years old. It's leaning on the 2.5 side as the minimum there.
Yeah, dope.
But
now we got a question from Kez. She's asking, are Solera systems less susceptible to angel share as they're consistently topped up and have less vacant space in barrels?
I know, because the same amount of whiskey's going out, though you'd have to constantly be calculating it. It's the evaporation's still there. I'd imagine so.
Because it's an environmental factor rather than a factor in terms of how much whiskey you actually have in the volume of your barrel.
And it's Melbourne. It's like it's hot, it's cold, it's hot, it's cold.
Yeah. Huge amount of expansion and contraction in the barrel, so you are losing a ton to angel
Which
share.
is interesting for whiskey, because it means it's going in and out of those barrels constantly versus a consistent temperature, which we battle with. And that's why all our fermenters have cooling jackets on them to keep a consistent temperature on them. Yeah. But the barrels, let them do their thing, and you have to be careful in these climates. It can get so hot to keep an eye on it. Yeah, for real. Because you can very easily overcook some whiskey.
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah.
And so all of our barrels are quite closely monitored, and considering that we make 5 barrels of whiskey a day. Yeah. So that's 1,000 liters of whiskey a day we're capable of making without putting a night shift in, and we could triple that.
Yeah, holy crap. Yeah. That's fuck ton of whiskey. Holy crap.
Huge.
Yeah, it's huge. Anyway, can I make you a drink?
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah, man.
I've been waiting for it.
Here we go. You've just been like, please, fucking stop asking me questions.
Ask me all the questions you want.
Alrighty, no worries. So, our first drink from this evening, besides the native old fashioned, which we just had there, we've got something called Genesis 19. Yeah. So I decided to go. So wait, I've got to like tell this story. So yeah, I'll use the Solera for this. So basically, I pitched all of my cocktails tonight off of the theme of the gospel and a religious theme, if you will. Genesis 19 is the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah. So I know it's like, okay, we're getting serious. Mate, it's all fine. You just got to thank my Jewish mother. That's all fine. And yes, holy shit, it's the first day of July. It's Rye July, baby.
It is Rye July.
It's Rye July. I mean, come on, you don't...
Absolutely. If there's anything you can do during this time of the year, we may as well do it, right?
100%. Rye July, here we come, baby. That's the way it is. So you need 45 ml worth of... Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, we're making full cocktails here. I thought, I was like, oh, no.
You said we weren't.
I know, I said before, I was like, we're gonna make like half a cocktail, but then I was like, oh no, I'm building this one. No, never mind. Well, it's cool. We're gonna have a highball. It's gonna be terrible. Andrew K is on board for Ride July, so here we go. And
the more people, the better. We've all had a rough year. If you're gonna drink something, you may as well drink it.
100%. You may as well. Just nail it, guys. That's a fuck ton of whiskey. He says when he knows he could drink about that amount too. Okay. Well, I could definitely drink 1,000 liters of whiskey, but in like my lifetime, so it wouldn't be that bad. Is there any likelihood of Aussie whiskey makers getting together and agreeing on a name for Australian whiskey, like a protection for Australian whiskey? Do you think?
I don't think so.
Why? Why don't you think so? Just out of curiosity.
I think Australian whiskey's done an amazing... I don't think I'm the best person to answer this question, to be honest, but there'd be some people that are well established in that community that would be on those boards. But as far as I'm concerned, Australian whiskey has made a great reputation for itself within the world as far as the brilliant distilleries like Sullivan's Cove and Belgrove Starwood. We've done great, even in the gin factors of Never Never and Applewood. Everything is just doing so well, but the reality is we don't make a consistent style. It's kind of like asking rum producers to agree what's rum. Right?
For sure.
Rum has the loosest definitions of every spirit because they all do things slightly differently, and they all make good rum. So they're never going to agree on something. So some Australian distilleries, most of, are using barley, some are using corn, some are using rye, and so to put it under one blanket doesn't really make sense anymore. And even the climate here, like you're making whiskey in Queensland versus Tasmania, it's like making it in the Caribbean versus making it in Scotland.
Absolutely,
You're kidding yourself. It's Australia, right? That's one of the most awesome things about our country is that we have the availability of almost every bit of produce we can possibly imagine, which includes grain, sugar, all that, and every environment possible to grow that and age it in. So no, it wouldn't be advantageous. But I think the name Australian whiskey as a whole is actually building its own reputation in its own right. And we owe that to the forefathers of Lark.
For sure. We do owe that to Bill Lark. For sure.
Everyone else that's come consistently after that has done quality work. Like, we've done great as a country as far as what we create. Even bartenders in general.
100%. So, are you ready for this?
What is this?
This is a fun highball. This is pickled onion. Pickled sweet onions.
Cheers.
So what we got here is we've got some Gospel Rye. We've then got some Okar Gold. So 45.
This is the Solera, right?
Yeah, this is the Solera Rye. So we've got 45 mils of Solera Rye, 15 mils worth of Okar Gold, 15 mil worth of Augier. We've topped it with the Strange Love Mandarin Soda.
Beautiful.
And then this little black stuff that I poured in there.
That was concerning.
It's a malic charcoal solution.
Okay.
Malic acid and charcoal with a little bit of water. Simple reason being, when
what
Sodom
does the charcoal do?
Well, it turns it's a bit black, like ash. At Sodom and Gomorrah, what was left? Ash was left.
Unreligious families right here. Literally no idea.
It's all good.
Studies.
Point of the story: at the end of the destruction of the two cities, it was like destroyed with fire and brimstone. That's where the term comes from.
Absolutely.
And so Yeah, got a little. It's like it's fire colored essentially in my mind, with a little bit of ash thrown in.
Cheers
There
to
you go. Cheers. Cheers to that, guys. Cheers
to
to the
all
first
of
drink
you.
of the evening. Let us
Thanks
know
for
what
joining
you're
us.
drinking this evening, and then just have a little nibble on the.
That is disgustingly delicious.
Awesome. And this kind of cleans your palate.
There you go.
While being a bit vinegary. Oh, question. Which town in the Mallee is your rye from? Which town in the Mallee?
That is a very good question.
That's a really good question.
I've never been asked that before, if I'm being completely honest.
Holy crap, Emma,
And,
coming through.
Those get delivered on trucks direct from the farmer
Yeah.
every fortnight. I don't know that, but Emma, I'm going to get those details for you after this, and I'm going to reply to you in the next 24 hours. But that exact town, I don't know in particular, but I will get you that information because it's a good bloody question.
Holy crap. Emma, that's that's bang on.
Are you familiar with the Mallee, Emma?
Yeah, I mean, I guess Emma must be familiar with the Mallee. Do you think it's from a specific town? That's what I want to
It
know.
is, because it comes from one farm. Every kernel of rye, every grain that we get comes from a single farmer.
Yeah, awesome.
So we'd be able to pinpoint it on latitude and longitude.
Oh, holy crap.
But I don't have the answer to that, but I will in the next 24 hours. I'm going to reply to you, and I will be ready for that question moving forward.
Hey, awesome. Yeah, for real. Now, we had another question about regionality. Do you think regionality might be important for like the distinguishing features of whiskey? So, for example, Tasmanian whiskey versus mainland whiskey, or maybe Victorian whiskey versus New South Wales whiskey. Do you think that might be something that eventually comes into the whiskey industry at all in Australia?
I think Tasmania whiskey's definitely got a thing now. Tasmania whiskey definitely has a thing. Victorian whiskey, where do you start? Like, you've got corn whiskey made here, you've got rye whiskey made here, you've got barley whiskey, single malt whiskey made here. You've got all three there, and some things in between as well. So how are you going to pinpoint Victoria as that? Is New South Wales?
Yeah, I mean,
you again have
Archie
both
Rose.
in New South Wales, and you've got a Highwayman's going to have his own single malts coming out shortly as well after the blends. New South Wales has the longest stretch, and Queensland up there. There's a few whiskies. I remember their coexisting brands names, but not actually the names themselves.
Okay, yeah,
but
cool.
like, no. I think distillery character is a huge thing here, which a lot of distilleries around the world talk about. But I don't think you ever. I think we're too young in the game for it.
For sure,
it's developed too much, and we've developed too quickly without that becoming a thing. Yeah. And there's so much of it now. I think each brand needs to stand on their own.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think that. If anyone has some Highwaymen, they want to send some. Yeah, hit me up.
Sold out pretty quick.
Yeah, for real, it really did. Yeah. Dan Woolley knocked it out of the park.
Done.
Well done, Dan Woolley. If you're watching, man, great. It looks amazing, and like it's black juice. It's dark.
Have you tried it?
No, I haven't tried it. No, have you tried it?
I haven't tried it.
Oh, yeah, I haven't tried it. Hey, Dan, what's up?
Next time I'm up in Byron, I'm coming your way.
That's the way, 100%. And Emma Black and Love the Gospel Solera, so limited, want to try it, 100%. And the Whiskey and Dreams tasting was apparently a lot of fun.
It was. I was there. I saw you. I didn't see you there, but you saw me there, I suppose.
Yeah.
That was just the collection of all the Australian whiskies. We had Bill Lark, we had Paul there, who's amazing, Archie Rose. Every single Australian distillery was there, as well as some amazing international distilleries.
Yeah, awesome.
It's amazing how many whiskey and spirit distilleries there are in Australia now, and some of the shows are actually becoming Australian whiskey shows.
Yeah, for sure.
We have enough
distilleries
enough stuff coming out of barrels now to actually do that.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
And that's the awesome thing is like we speak after COVID and supporting our own economy is like we're not just supporting one boat here. We have options within our own country.
With
in terms
whiskey,
with whiskey, gin, vodka actually as
Yeah,
well.
there's
Like,
white light. There's
rum.
a huge amount. Yeah.
Like you've got everything here, and you've got food and produce.
Except for like tequila. We don't quite have tequila
They've
yet.
started. They can't
They
call it
definitely
that.
have. They definitely have. They have to call it
They can't
agave
call
spirit.
it
But
that.
like it's not like fully formed. Like the whiskey
We have the
industry.
perfect environment for it.
We certainly do. And
It
we've
just
got
takes 10 years.
and we've got a ton of agave. We've got like a ton of agave.
My understanding was that was going into power plants, though.
It is, yeah. It's all
Yeah.
biofuel.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we do have tons of it.
Yeah.
Like it's not like agave hasn't been proven to grow.
I
here.
can put up more solar panels and turn that stuff into agave liquid
Yeah,
and see what we
okay,
can
yeah,
do.
fair enough. After the success of online tastings, do you think Australian distilleries could do international shows like what they did with Whiskey and Dreams? Yeah, absolutely. I think it's more than plausible for people to do international shows. Absolutely.
I absolutely think that as well, especially as the brands in Australia are growing more international accolades. And
Yeah.
you'll be able to give me your opinion on this, but I think as far as the Australian distilling industry is like, we're independent companies, but everything that benefits one of us benefits all of us.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
Yeah,
like we're running the same race, and it's the closer any of us gets to the finish line, and the more noise any of us drums up, we all get it.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, I've said this a number of different times. I think it's become all the more apparent during this kind of
don't work
massive,
against each other. We're
massive
not
fucking
working
dilemma.
against each
Yeah.
other. None of them
Well,
are.
it's also you go quicker alone, but you go further together, and I think for me that kind of summarizes it quite beautifully and succinctly.
Absolutely, and we
because
build a
that's
bigger
what it's
name,
about.
and you know, as Aussies in general are really great at that.
Yeah, 100%. They're like banding together and actually getting shit done.
This is what we do.
Yeah. Hijack the agave convoy, Breaking Bad style, 100%. We should just hijack that.
Absolutely, Andrew. If you've got a truck, I'll come with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's make it happen. Now,
I don't know if you've ever dug one of those out of the ground, but I've stood and watched it.
It's hard fucking work.
It's going to be a bit of a day.
That's such
And
hard work.
There's no machinery that can do it for you.
Yeah.
So we're going to be out there for a while.
That's real.
It's going to be a
real
few
work.
nights in a row. I think we're going to get caught. But
Yeah.
if you want to do it, I will join you.
You don't want to be an El Timador. It's not fun work at all. Not even close.
I'm still up for it.
Now you've got 2 drinks.
I've got 2 drinks.
You've got 2. So what do you want to make your first one first, and
First
then
drink?
I'll make my second one. Yeah,
Absolutely. I'm going to finish
first
my
one?
first drink really
Oh,
quickly,
okay,
just because we may as well.
Yeah. Go to Pound Town, man. That's the way to go. And we haven't said any wanky words so far, and it's been like 30 minutes. I'm really proud of us. It's only been 23 minutes. Sorry, but I'm just saying.
We'll
we
get
haven't
there.
said.
I promise I will as well. There's
Oh,
no
Jesus.
way.
Okay. Alrighty.
All right,
Brilliant.
I'm going to start off with a fizz for my first cocktail, which
Don't,
is
man.
the sour's kind of taller sister. Fizz, when I first started getting really into cocktails, immediately became my favorite cocktail. It's essentially a whiskey sour with a dash of soda that kind of makes it cascade. And it's textural, it's full-bodied, and full of flavor.
Sorry, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for one of them.
wanky word.
I'm waiting for one of those
Yeah,
words
it's
to
right.
just like pop out of your mouth.
And so I have a real soft spot for fizzes.
Awesome,
And they're simple. And
Yeah.
my whole ethos behind drinks, I've got a lot of ethoses on drinks, but in scenarios like this is, why teach someone to make something they can't make? So this is a really simple, straightforward whiskey sour, whiskey fizz recipe.
Yeah.
And that means anyone can make it at home as easily as possible.
Yeah. Sorry, Kerry's just going, tell us about the texture of the fizz.
Tell us about the texture of the fizz.
No, don't. Just don't do it. Don't be lured into that game. It'll hurt. It'll hurt you. It'll get you eventually. It's terrible. Because we're all used to it. Like, we're all used to going like, oh, and this is what I think of this.
Like clouds pressing through your lips.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
Is
Okay.
that-
Yeah, here we go. No, but it's like my favorite, and I've said this before, my favorite wanky term that's ever been said on the stream. Sorry, do you need some of
I
this?
do need that.
My favorite wanky term is it's a James Halliday tasting
more of
note.
this?
I do have more of it, but it's down the car. How much do you need?
No, I just didn't know if you needed it.
Oh, no, I don't need it.
Cool.
It's already done. That was my OK Gold cocktail.
There you go.
Nailed it. No, it was a James Halliday cocktail. James Halliday wine, which was Toby Becker's. It was a Toby Becker's Grenache from 2018, and it was Regal Grenache draped in silk robes of tannin. And I was like, wow, that's a bucket of wank. That's a serious terrible or terrible. Oh, wow. Kerry, it's been a while since you've been on this stream. They're fucking dad puns. That's a turbo pun.
But I used to working in Sydney. We used to write whiskey tasting notes on the road for 3 every month. And those things, some of them that came out from Tim Phillips and Eddie Rose were just ridiculous.
Oh, man.
That vocabulary. Fantastic.
Yeah, I remember I had one which was like, I said one yesterday, which was like punching a menthol cigarette on a mountaintop.
So we're going to go back to the drink.
Back to the drum. I'm so sorry.
The first thing I just put in there was a real simple, just 20 mils of fresh pressed lemon.
Yeah.
And then we're going to follow up with Sinky 20 mils of Akar Gold, which we have the exact amount for.
Beautiful. Let me take that bottle from you. It's dead. We killed
Done.
it. Bottle
For the
kill.
shelf.
Nailed it.
And then for this one, we're going to use the Gospel Solare.
Sweet.
Just because of its beautiful, punchy, grain forward notes.
Have you got enough?
I don't.
Shit. My bad. I shouldn't have made 2.
That's all right.
Can we mix the straight?
This cocktail is definitely here by the Gospel Solare, but for the sake of we actually have Gospel Straight right here, we're going to chuck a little bit of that in there as well.
Sadly, we don't have a spare of the whiskies tonight.
Will not hurt it at all, but we put it in this collection of drinks that we've made.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be all good.
So no one's going to hurt there. Or maybe you or I tomorrow.
Yeah.
I also made 2 drinks.
Cool. What? You've also made 2?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And then we're going to put the white of 1 egg.
Beautiful.
And that's going to give us that texture we spoke about earlier.
Yeah, awesome. I told someone about this. They now say a naughty word, like the turtles from Finding Nemo. That's really good. That's great. I'm glad that that's going to catch on. I really want wanky words to catch on because I feel like people should describe things in a better way, in like a more descriptive way.
It's ways that actually relate to you, not the same descriptive words every time.
Yeah. And also like getting better in your articulatory language in terms of flavor is really important when you're talking to people in a restaurant or talking to someone in a bar. You can't just say it tastes sweet. You know?
You have to be careful though, because there are some things you try that you identify with something exactly, and you're like, that does not sell this the best.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah,
This reminds me of, and you're like,
what's like the strangest
thing? What's the aroma
thing?
of this whiskey? Not my whiskey, our whiskey, but what's the aroma of this whiskey? Kitty litter. And it's like, we don't mean it in a bad way, but it reminds you of that. It's like not dirty kitty litter, but like
I definitely had a chef like have a whiskey and go like, old socks. And I was like,
rum, redondo.
Like
and
that funkiness,
what does that remind you of?
Yeah.
And you're like, it is delicious rum, but at the same time, if you tie it to exactly what you mean, you're like...
Yeah, it's like, it's gasoline on, anyway, I'm not going to use that tasting note. No, I personally, actually, no, I will. Basically, it smells like gasoline in someone's pants who's wet themselves.
There you go.
It's like what it smells like.
Tasting notes can be dangerous.
Yeah, but awesome.
Did we have soda water for this drink?
Delicious.
Or anything fizzy?
I can get something fizzy. Yeah, that's no problem. Just give me 2 seconds.
So being a fizz here, we're essentially making a whiskey sour and we're pouring it over something with bubbles in it. This point in particular, soda water, dry ginger ale, tonic even. And that being said, for the fizz, to get that texture again, we're going to dry shake it just to beat up those eggs a bit and get that frothiness. Then, the most important ingredient of all cocktails is the ice. That brings us our temperature and our dilution to the table, which without is literally the only ingredient, dilution and temperature in every single cocktail. And even if they're hot cocktails or room temperature cocktails, as well as those are, the temperature is still considered there. Then we're going to shake and dilute that over ice.
Yep.
But only for a short period, because we're going to pour it over soda water, which is going to have more dilution.
Which we're going to punch it right now. There we go.
Should have mentioned that again earlier.
Mate, I totally forgot as well. It's totally fine. Beat your eggs, slap your herbs. Cocktails are basically BDSM. That's kind of true in some way, shapes, and forms, except you are not tying up another human.
Let's.
Come on! Anyway, there you go. Yeah, that's the soda water. It's ready to go. I've given it a good shake.
And fresh soda water there. And
just to straighten him up. No, straighten him up. Yeah, that's the way.
Always helps in a fizz to have a little bit in the base of the glass there. Helps you get that kind of cascading effect. And you can do these either with or without ice. In this case, we have quite large glasses. So we're going to add a little bit of ice to fill some of that volume.
Ooh. Sorry about that with the headphone warning on the ISI. Didn't quite realize. Yeah, you got a microphone right there. Sorry about that.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, you're all fine. Don't even stress. It's all good. I've abused these people's ears every single day for 62 days. So it's all fine.
They are fine.
Oh, yum yums. Oh, yes.
And though it looks pretty great there, nice and layered, we want to incorporate it perfectly, so we're just going to give it a light stir to mix that final bit of fizz down there.
Oh, yes.
It's going to rise up a bit and incorporate all the way through.
Love it.
And we have 2 Gospel Solaire Aqua Gold Fizz.
Awesome,
so,
man. That looks gnarly. That looks
Aussie
so
gold
good.
as it gets.
Chin chin. Let's rock and roll. Oh, wait, do we have a garnish? Sorry.
No garnish this one. It's aromatic as with the bubbles already.
Amazing.
And for this, you kind of, from Aqua Gold, you get these like beautiful kind of like gummy confectional notes that you also kind of get from the rye. It's rather than just the darks.
Wowza.
The spice flavors, and you sort of bring those out with a little bit of citrus and all the sugars in the rye as well. Again, 3 main ingredients and an egg white.
Absolute. It's pinging. That's a pinger. That's absolutely send it. Yes, I did say yum yums. It's my
Is
my
that a wanky
buzzword.
word?
No, it's not a wanky word. It usually means that they have to drink when I start saying yum yums. They count how many times I say yum yums per stream because it's something I say.
There you go.
Yeah. So sorry about that, guys. Yes, yum yums. Enjoy.
But this can be made easily with or without soda water.
Yeah.
The sour, kind of the basis to 90% of the cocktails you all know and drink in every bar around the
100%.
country. It is
Now,
home base.
Speaking of cocktails that you know and drink in every single bar, dude, you got to name it for me. What's your favorite cocktail? Like, just in general, like, what's your if you walked into a bar and you were like, oh, what am I gonna have? There's no menu. You're faced with.
Wouldn't it be nice again? I can walk into a bar.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. But like, someone walks in there. Well, you walk in there. Sorry, not someone. You walk in there and you're like, what am I gonna get? I need to get this thing.
A margarita.
Margarita. Yeah. Why a margarita? Sorry, I said that so incredulously. I was like, why would you do that?
I've drunk a shit ton of cocktails, and I've dedicated 4 years of my life entirely to cocktails as a career. And I've had the weirdest of the weirdest stuff around the world, and I've had the most wholesome. And at the end of the day, I just want a simple, well-made margarita.
Yeah.
A martini.
Yeah.
As well.
Yes.
Well-made 2-to-1 martini.
Yeah.
The dry martini is dead.
Yeah, cool.
If you're not drinking wet martinis, you haven't tried it.
I'm drinking perfect. These days, I'm drinking perfect martinis. That's all I'm drinking.
Martinez is also great.
Yeah, for real.
Moving on, a scoffler.
Oh, scofflaw. Yeah, awesome.
I'm gonna name 5 for you.
One person who avoids the law, as it were, in the Prohibition era.
Also a fantastic cocktail.
And also a really good drink, but that's where it gets its name from.
And a solid gospel straight rice Sazerac.
Oh, you dirty man. You had to throw your brand in there, didn't you? Yeah, I love it. So good. Fuck yeah, man. Thank you for giving a real answer to the question. Most people go oh, it depends on my mood. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, cool.
Hey,
and I know it does.
Them all, but I'll tell you right now, if I was to walk into a bar, as I probably will tomorrow, I'll probably walk into the Black Pearl and I'm gonna order a margarita.
Yeah, 100%. See, I always order daiquiris. And then when I've had enough daiquiris, I
like the salt.
I order that one nuclear daiquiri. and then it's done. And then I'm done. And that's it. And I don't remember anything. And I usually, like, someone will be like, Henry, you were crazy last night. I was like, really? What did I do? And they were like, oh, you just yelled a whole bunch of things.
That's where you went wrong. I don't ask what I did. I said, I don't want to hear it.
Oh, really? No, I really enjoy asking what I did. Like, one time I fell out of a cab. That was great.
I don't want to know what I did.
Oh, no, I really enjoy these, like, fun stories. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Because invariably, I'm never disappointed in myself. Like, I hear these stories, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's not terrible. Like, I'm like, oh, well, it wasn't really bad.
I too easily embarrass them. I do not want to know.
Yeah, well, yes, this is true. Shit, yeah, Rice Hazarek, 100%. Why would you go to South Australia? For so many things. For so many things. You would go to South Australia. No, I would go to South Australia for the wine. I know
one here as well.
Yeah, but we've got also wine there. I know that Kerry's just right. Kerry's just saying that because Dan Andrews said that, or some premier said that. Kirsten, we're not ignoring you.
We're not actually allowed in South Australia, so
it sucks.
We aren't allowed. That wasn't a decision we made. I'd love to come to South Australia if you'd let us in.
Yeah, please. That would be fantastic. Can you speak to your premier or
for the open bars? That is actually the right answer.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would absolutely love to go to South Australia and have a cocktail at May.
Oh man, it'd be so good. I went to Union Electric on Friday and like booked in, socially distanced, but it was just awesome to pay for a drink. Like, it was really nice to like give my card over, pay for a beverage. I really loved it. I know you're looking at me like, okay.
No, I've been to coffee shops owned by bar owners, and they're working in there, and they're like, oh, I don't want to charge you for the coffee, because then I'm like, charge me.
Yeah, please, right now.
And like, once a week I've been buying a cocktail from one of the local bars in the area. It's just some I haven't even drunk them yet.
Yeah,
but if I can just go buy one every week, that is what I can do.
Yeah. Bronwyn now has to Google the scofflaw recipe. Well, do it. It's a sensational drink. Scofflaws are fantastic. Another thing I like, Blood and Sands are really good, except I replaced the cherry hearing with Okar, and it's banging.
Absolutely. I find a Blood and Sands spec needs a bit of rework.
Yeah, definitely does. Yeah.
And it's one of those drinks with great potential, but a lot of issues.
We've touched on this.
Just a touch of citrus.
Like the first time I brought this up, the first time the first time we like went through the Blood and Sand on this podcast, on this thing, we were like, the Blood and Sand spec is not good. Like, we need to scofflaw for the next quickie. That is not a bad idea. Yeah, that can definitely happen.
Today.
No. This is for me. Yeah, don't worry. You're just like, no, we don't fucking have that shit. Yeah. No, you're right.
In regards to the Blood and Sand, it's one of those classic equal parts cocktails.
Yeah,
which was an amazing part of bartending, because it came so simple as this 20, 20, 20, 20, 30, 30, 30, 30, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's the Corpse Survivor number 2, Corpse Survivor number 1. No, not the number 1.
No, not the number 1. Number 1's
like, dozens of cocktails came in this format. But I've actually found, though it isn't dead set, but I found the majority of them work better if you change the spec from 420s to a 30, 20, 15, 15.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, dope. So you have like a hero coming through the mix.
Yeah. So you got your spirit, so you've got your whiskey or your gin, and then you drop down your sweeteners to 15, 15 and keep your home-based citrus, right?
Dope.
And it just brings that sweetness back that most of them kind of claw in on.
Yeah.
And there are a few outliers here, but like, it's negatable.
Man,
like,
every cocktail from before the 1980s, I pretty much give a free pass in terms of the specs, because I'm like, everyone who made cocktails back then smoked a fucking pipe. Like, how were they supposed to actually taste anything? Know what I mean?
But it's that's the easiest way to see those. I strongly suggest any of you that make your own cocktails at home or in your bar, next time you look at your equal parts cocktail, change it to a 30, 20, 15, 15, and
you'll
see
have
what
a
you
fun
think.
time. 100%.
It'll work for the majority of this.
Peter, okay, sausage rolls are in the oven. I'm paying attention now. Well, good to have your attention, Peter, as always. Hope you have a fantastic sausage roll feast. Is it just me, or does Zach look like Matthew Dellavedova?
I don't know who that is. If you could send a photo through so we can have a comparison.
Who's Matthew Dellavedova? because I genuinely want to know right now. Kerry, can you help us out here? Can you load up a photo? Can I? Can I serve? Now. Well, I just want to serve you a cocktail because it's already made, my man.
We're backing up.
It's already in the freezer.
You're ahead of me.
Well, are you able to do me a favor? Are you able to go to the freezer for me? Please, because this next cocktail is, this is I had the most fun making this. So photos only work after the vid. Damn it! Well, we're going to have to look up who Matthew Dellavedova, yeah. I'm going to look that up. Oh, thank you so much, you absolute legend.
I suppose the other question is that you actually will be able to answer is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah, Peter, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Help us out here. This little cocktail here, funnily enough, Andrew K brought up earlier. It's essentially a clarified pina colada, essentially. However, having said that, we are using all gospel Solera rye in this, and a little bit of Ocaramaro in this one as well, alongside some coconut water, pineapple juice, velvet falernum, and also some lime juice as well. It's also been milk clarified, so it's already got that creaminess that you need.
We're just gonna answer his question on the screen.
Yeah, do it, man.
Apparently, Derek Delova, or whatever the name is an NBA player.
Cool.
I am about 2 feet too short to do that.
Yeah.
I have no way that. I think I am about 5'10", 5'11"?
Yeah.
So no.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. No worries.
Absolutely not a basketball player.
Yeah. You are you're a little short. Just a little short.
Little short.
Just a tiny bit.
A few issues there, but
anyway,
milk
here you
punch,
go, man.
Absolutely.
So
classic
milk punch
clarification in its whole.
as well. Milk punch clarification. We've gone over this many times in terms of what a milk clarification or a milk punch clarification is. We've then pegged a couple pineapple fronds on the cocktail as well, just to give it that tropical vibe. It's kind of like a tip of the hat. There's no scent. There's no scent to pineapple fronds at all. I wonder how I'm going to drink this, actually. I'm going to drink it from this way. Well, if you don't like that, there's something wrong with your head. But yeah, there you go.
That is delicious.
So there you go. It's a bit of a wintry, like almost a stirred down number in many ways. Like it is short, it is sweet. It's on the sweeter side. But it actually doesn't last for too long. Like the dryness does cut through. Pegged. Yes, we definitely pegged a garnish on the side. The danger of tiki garnishes might lose an eye. Absolutely, that's very true.
That's the risk I'm willing to take.
Yeah. Milk clarified after 62 episodes. Aren't you sick of that? No, not exactly. No, I love a good milk clarification.
Can you bring some bubbles into it?
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Next time.
For real, yeah.
Because you're going to do another milk clarification, aren't you?
Oh, definitely. But I've also done milk clarifications where I've then punched them full of CO2 afterwards as well.
How good's that?
So good. Good. So I did one for Homegrowny week.
40 PSI.
Yeah, exactly. That was the entire point. So you got something that was thick and rich and extraordinarily viscous, but then you punch it full of CO2. The only problem I have with that is that it actually you get quite a lot of bubble because you actually have a lot of surface tension for all the CO2 to be trapped in. So that's the problem I found. That only is a problem in ISIs rather than like getting them in the bottles and then actually punching them. So that's the main difference. Yeah.
I wonder where it was because I've done a drink in the past where I didn't actually milk clarify it. What I did is I actually got the whey left over from a cheese shop.
Yeah. Oh, you did it with whey. Yeah, cool.
So rather than, I was using the ingredients of the color I wanted anyway, so I didn't really bother, and then I wasn't bothered with anything like that. So when you clarify something, you take things out of it, I suppose, when it filters through, and the milk takes the curd to do that, and then you leave the whey behind, which leaves that texture. So rather than doing that, I went to a cheese shop around the corner from the bar I was working in. Yeah. And I said, "Hey, you're making cheese. Do you have any leftover whey?" And they said, "We'll give you a bucket a day."
Fuck yeah.
And I was like, all right, sweet. So
music to my
ears.
That's
amazing because I've just taken something off their hand, gave them a bottle of whiskey, and called it a day. And it closed loop the scenario as well. that waste, and we carbonated that. It was that, I think, fermented honey and
awesome.
whiskey.
Yeah,
is a bottled cocktail, and it was carbonated, and it was just
So
gold champagne.
Kerry has actually answered my question. The one where I milk clarified something and then punched it with CO2 was a clear Cuba Libre. So I clarified Coca-Cola.
Did you make ricotta with it?
No, I didn't make ricotta with it. No, sadly not. That didn't happen. But funnily enough, you can fat wash something with ricotta, and it's a ton of fucking fun. Luke Wordy from Birdie did a banana and ricotta fat washed whiskey for one of his cocktails.
I did
on the
Cameron's Kicks.
Yeah, or Cameron's Kick with it. Yes.
Milk clarified Cameron's Kicks, and then we made a cheese with that.
You dirty boy. That's fucking awesome.
We didn't serve it to anyone, but like...
But you did it for shits and giggles.
It was able to do. Like, it was like... We had it there.
Dude, that's sick. That's fucking awesome.
Essentially, like, you're making lab now.
Yeah. That's
when you're extracting whey, you're making lab now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You get whey and lab now at the other side. We did, when I was stealing whey from yogurts, I was making lab now.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. That's so dope. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this.
Oh, it's
this
fantastic.
This drink
well
is called
over the moon.
This drink is called the Apostate, meaning a follower or an apostle who has then turned against the order. So an apostate.
What are you saying about me?
I'm not saying anything about it. Holy shit! I thought I was going to get punched in the throat. No, so basically my whole idea behind this is that this will be the last place that you would think you would find rye whiskey as the major ingredient. So the apostate, something that turns away from what you expect it to.
Absolutely.
There you go. And gospel is the main ingredient in this by a long, long way. Over 50% of this is actually gospel.
We were speaking earlier today about tiki drinks in general, and tiki drinks go great with rum, but they also go great with gospel whiskey, of course, but any type of whiskey, peated scotch.
Yeah.
I'm not going to segregate there. It's like almost any dark spirit.
Oh, yeah.
You can take a Mai Tai and you can plug in any spirit.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Let alone a dark spirit.
I really enjoyed...
a good full-bodied rye or
for real.
Good full-bodied cognac and a Mai Tai. Fantastic.
So good. And then you can you can actually float peated whiskey on top of it and turn it into like a Mai Tai penicillin, which is pretty badass. And like you can do some crazy, crazy shit with tiki drinks, which we've kind of explored. We kind of explored on here, but we haven't like really. Well, we did Freaky Tiki, which was an episode we did, which is where we really kind of pushed the boundaries of stuff and like added hopped beer to lime juice and pineapple, and it was pineapple, coffee, and beer, which was pretty out there in terms of a flavor combo. My money is on Zach for the winner. Sure. Yes. The winner of what, Kirsten? Sorry. I'm sorry. I haven't been really following. I've been too involved in the conversation. Andrew, my other half has been using the curds from my clarified cocktails to make desserts.
Absolutely.
100%.
They're completely good for anything.
Yeah. So if I was drinking Hudson Rye, oops. Yeah, you can do whatever you want with Hudson Rye, I guess.
It's delicious.
Sure, do it. Yeah, it's fucking
Manhattan Rye.
fucking amazing. Yeah, it's so
Bloody
good.
delicious.
Yeah. My money is... I'm still so confused about that.
What am I winning?
Yeah, please. And if he's winning anything, send him free stuff. # send me free stuff. Send us free stuff. Sorry.
And maybe I'll send something back.
Yeah, true. I don't know. Maybe we can get swapsies. If I try milk clarifying, I might see if I can make a paneer from the curds. Paneer? Do you know what paneer is? I don't.
Isn't it a type of bread?
Is it a type of bread? Peter, fill us in what that is. I have no idea. That sounds freaking incredible. But, oh my God, we're 50 minutes in.
Forward.
I'm so sorry, we're 50 minutes in. What is your next You've got our final drink for this evening, which I'm really stoked about.
So before I make that drink, you're going to have
to
finish one of your drinks. I'm going to have to finish one of mine.
Alrighty.
I don't care which one.
I'll finish this one.
Me too. All right.
Indian curry cheese. That's what it is. Indian curry cheese.
It makes curd, so it makes cheese. Yes. it will work.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I don't know much about that, but it sounds delicious. Paneer is a cheese for people who can't make cheese. Well, that's pretty cool. When he punches you in the throat.
Yeah, fair enough.
Gisman's just said that between a fight between the both of us, she'd pick you to win.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I'd surrender before we even started. Double parking, fine. Triple parking, no-go zone. That's very true. Yes, if you punch me in the throat, you'll definitely win that fight.
I have no intentions to, though.
Okay.
Back to the
Help
subject
me.
at hand.
Yeah, please. What do we got?
Going back to cocktails.
Yeah.
So, again, we're going in the trend of my cocktails, making something anyone can make at home very easily. And this time we're going on essentially a riff on a riff of a Negroni. Any Negroni fans out there? I'm sure there are. I won't wait for your answers because most people are.
Yeah.
And in this point, we're going to start off with our classic 10 mils of Akar.
Oh, yeah,
the
for sure.
vermouth.
Oh, yes, the Magnite. Yeah, no, I definitely I grabbed it before.
We had it.
We definitely had it. I remember us having it. Sorry, you got to pardon my fat ass.
Excuse me.
That's all good. I just got a fat ass.
So this Hollow Point cocktail classically has Campari in it, but we're going to go all native Australian here with the Akar Australian vermouth, and we're going to use 10 mils of that.
What? Wesson.
That is going to punch it real nicely. And the second ingredient we're going to use here is another all-Australian ingredient that neither of us have anything to do with, actually, which is Marionette apricot liqueur. Mm-hmm. So they use all locally sourced apricots to make an apricot brandy, actually using neutral spirit from St. Agnes.
Really?
They get cask
they
strength,
do. Yeah, they're using
strength neutral spirit from St. Agnes.
They're using technically. I was at Brogan's Way the other week,
which is one of they're the only people that have that, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Like one of Australia's oldest wine families and producers that make
producers of wine spirit. I mean,
and they make this beautiful brandy that's been around forever, and they make great brandies. They've got a bartender's cut, which is fantastic. I may have had a hand in that, and that is the base of this with fresh apricots and Nick Tessa and the team's brilliance.
And are they aging that in cask as well? Do they age their apricot brandy in cask? I have a feeling they do, from memory, just simply because I was there. I was there the other day and I saw some.
You tell me that.
Well, I think they do.
Maybe some.
But we've also got Hugh on Friday from Marionette.
Hugh will be able to answer
and Hugh will be able to answer this question.
Hugh will be able to answer you.
We'll save the answer till then. Yeah.
I don't know the ins and outs.
It's all good. Yeah, exactly.
I wish I did.
Yeah.
I wish I had the time to go hang out.
Peter, drinking a Gospel Straight Rye sourish with lemon, sugar, syrup, egg white, and some AHD bitter orange after Monday's suggestion to try bitters in my Mac Sour. Dude, that's pretty awesome.
There you go.
That sounds dope. Do you like it? Is it a good drink, Peter? Let us know, dude. Please, as always.
Always open to suggestions. So you've got 10 mils of each of those. Then we're going to go 15 mils of the sweet vermouth. And in this case, we're using Maidenai. Again, an all-Australian sweet style of vermouth, kind of a Rosso style thing.
Oh, yeah, it's fundamentally Rosso.
Then we are going for our big bad boy, the Gospel Straight Rye.
Do you call it Big Bad Boy?
I have never before.
Yum Yums. That's the way.
It may as well be my Yum Yums.
May as well.
And then we're going to put some Gospel Straight Rye in there as the here at 40 mils.
Awesome.
Basically, the Hollow Point is, I guess, a modern classic. A slightly fruitier version of the... Be careful of that microphone. The Boulevardier or the Negroni. Bitter, sweet, complex, and just generally enjoyable. You could almost call it, in some ways, it's almost like an entry point to the Negroni. Because that apricot brandy adds that additional flavor that most of those variations don't actually do.
Yeah, kind of dash of sweetness and complexity.
Yeah, familiarity. Like, do you remember the first time you had a Negroni?
I do remember the first time I had a Negroni,
Most,
actually, yeah.
most people that have had a fair few Negronis remember the first time they've had a Negroni.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, I thought it was pretty bitter and not as advertised.
It's not attractive.
Yeah.
Like, when you first have a Negroni, it's not attractive.
Dude, this was like my question during Homegrowny Week. The first thing I asked all of my guests was like, what's your Negroni cherry pop story? So what is yours? Do you remember your first Negroni?
Absolutely. So I worked in this bar in the northern beaches of Sydney, actually. And one of the owners there drank Negronis all the time. He just constantly drank Negronis. And being as young as I was at the time, I just wanted to, I was growing up and wanted to get into it and had a Negroni, and I just had no interest. I don't think anyone likes their Negroni till their fifth Negroni.
Yeah, for real.
But then after that, it's like, you love it.
Yeah, it's kind of like my first old fashioned. Like I wasn't all about it at all.
The old fashioned I could do. I think I'd had a few whiskeys before then, but the Negroni, you just don't. That bitter flavor, like bitter is poison, right? Like that's association with that brand. But this is probably, I wish someone had given me this before they had given me a Negroni.
Yeah.
It would have helped me along the lines of my whiskey drinking in the early years and in my bitter aperitif category.
Awesome.
Again, you've got gospel straight rye punching through with that full rye flavor. Marionette apricot, all Australian apricot, maiden eye vermouth, and all Australian Amara.
Hells
and
yeah.
to finish this off as a garnish,
Hells yeah.
a lemon twist.
Beautiful, man.
And for our own sake, this time we only made half cocktails.
Yes, thank goodness, because we're going to die. Brilliant, guys. Cheers. Cheers to you at home. Cheers to everyone. This is our final cocktail of the evening, and then we're moving on to some fun and games, as it were. So let's have a go. Oh, yeah, get around it. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I think that's the best drink we've had yet.
That's so well balanced. Like, in terms of well balanced drinks, like, each has had its own character. Like, each have been
This
great
is
in their own
fantastic
way.
and innovative, and but this
Like, that's fun. Like, this is just fun. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's a fun, drinkable cocktail.
fucking great.
Everyone would like it,
Functions,
and it's just like, yum, yeah, good. Whereas this is a bit more
this
mature.
kind of hits all notes.
Well, this is just a bit more of a mature cocktail. You know what I mean? Like, it's a bit more elevated. There's a balance between all of the liquids in there. Like, I feel like this is on the sweeter side of things. The highball was probably on the sweeter side of things as well, but still enjoyable, still like quenching. The fizz was quite sour and quite cutting, but in a very good way. And this is the most well balanced.
We only made
This
half
is really
of one.
gorgeous. And we only made half of one. It's all right. These things happen. But that's delicious, man. Bit of a hollow point. That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh, cheers again. Here we go. Alrighty, well, it's time to play our first game of the evening, which if you've never watched this live stream before, it's called What's That Bitter Taste in My Mouth, where we embark as two lonely souls throughout the universe to try and demystify the beautiful world of it. Did you just punch that entire drink?
It's gone.
Where we tried to demystify the world of Amaro. It's very good. That's a good beverage. I liked it. Alrighty. It's time to play What's That Bitter Taste in My Mouth, baby? Here we go. And you guys on Instagram don't get any of these fun graphics. That's true. Alrighty, so I have a tasting glass for you.
Yeah.
And a tasting glass for me. I have an Amaro. Here it is. It's a mystery Amaro. Now, I know what it is, but you don't know what it is.
I feel like I should have brought an Amaro as well.
No, it's all fun. What are you talking
It would
about?
have been
No,
more
no
fun
one
if I
brings
brought
an
one that
Amaro.
you didn't know.
Well, no one does. No, come on. That's not the point of this. Alright, here we go. So, first things first, we're going to have a look at the Amaro itself. It's quite a dark Amaro this evening.
Muddy.
It's muddy, yeah. Then you'll be very confused. Negrini? What? Okay, yeah, cool. That's just his nickname for you, yeah, when you called him the big bad boy.
Who?
You called your drink the big bad boy? Yeah. Then you'll be very good. The regret on your face as you try to keep up. Working hard, Henry. True commitment. Thank you. Thank you, Kerry. Thanks, boss. I'm just doing my best, like
Is that
you
your
taught
boss?
me. Yeah, Kerry's my boss, essentially. Yeah, she's my boss. Yeah. Thank you. But Kerry, you taught me very well. Anyway, so here we go. This is our Amaro for this evening. Oh, we got to redo Instagram. Sorry about this. Sorry, Instagram drops out after an hour. It's all good.
Hold on for 1 minute. We'll be right back with
Oh,
you.
no, it's all good. Everything's live on Facebook, so they can already see you. So it's all good. You don't need to worry about
Well,
that.
they need to notice why we're just sitting here doing nothing.
Well, we're not sitting here doing nothing. We're sitting here.
Well, I am.
Well, no, but you don't. I mean, come on, man. It's all good. No stress. Wait, here we go. We're just going live again. It's no problem. Done. Awesome. Sorry about that, everyone on the face streams.
You received 100 messages.
We did. We received 100 messages. What a great time. We received 100 messages. How good. Also, 4 drinks in, so samesies. Yeah. Thank you, Kerry. You are supportive. You're very supportive, and I really appreciate you watching along and telling us and giving us support, as it were. So, Jimmy Carlisle, Sweet Dram. My stock answer is now. No, it's not Sweet Dram this evening. It is not that. I think it'll actually be pretty obvious when you stuff it in your face. I think you know
huge.
exactly what it is.
It's got one huge note. Like, you get your nose in this glass, and you notice one thing in particular.
And what is that
fucking
thing?
chocolate.
Chocolate, yeah. So it is quite dark. Now, Sweet Dram, just to let you know, the whiskey Amaro is very red. It's probably
That's not
more,
Sweet Dram.
It's crimson coloured. A lot of rhubarb in that particular Amaro. Like it tastes like rhubarb minutes after you've had it. The finish on it is gargantuan. That might have been a drinking word. That might have been a drinking word. Gargantuan. I think it was.
That's wanky.
But we've done Montenegro, haven't we? No, it is not Montenegro. So it is quite dark. Montenegro is actually a little lighter.
You did say the word.
What? What do you mean? What do you mean?
The
That's
drinking word.
Gargantuan?
That's wanky.
Really? There's so little left.
I know, but take it. Shit.
Ooh. Does the Applewood Christmas trade release Chocolatl count as an Amaro? No, it's not that. It is not that. It is a drinking word. Okay, well, yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, so this is the one right here, as I've said before. Now, the first thing that we always try to decipher is what do you get? So chocolate straight away. Now, do you think it is New World or Old World? So Old World, just for your context, is continental Europe. So anything on the continent. That's why Sweet Dram is New World, even though it's from Scotland.
It's dark chocolate.
It's just dark chocolate. Do you think it's Old World or New World?
That's a hard decision here.
Yeah, I know, right? Because it's got some depth and complexity,
New.
but it also does have.
It's New World.
It's New World.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Absolutely. You want to lock that in?
Yeah, I know what it is.
You know what it is.
I think I do. I've
you do.
got my decision locked in.
Okay, good. Well, yes, it is New World.
Yep, it's
Awesome.
New World.
Fantastic. Do you think it's from America? Do you think it's from Canada? Or do you think it's from Australia?
I think it's from Australia.
You think it's from Australia? It is from Australia.
Yeah.
Do you think it's from Victoria? Do you think it's from South Australia? Or do you think it's from New South Wales?
I think it's from New South Wales.
Funnily enough, I don't know where they're based, but I'm sure you're right. What do you think it is?
I think it's Mr. Black Amaro.
It fucking is! Yeah, boy!
Yes!
Holy shit! See, I told you I got you something that I think you'd get. Ah, yeah! That's what we're fucking talking about. Huge! You're the first person who didn't guess Aperol or fucking Campari to get that right.
So Mr.
Well, Mr. Black's Coffee Amaro.
Well,
It's Coffee
yes,
Amaro.
but like, I know a lot about gospel, but I actually know a lot about a lot of these things. And I've spent some time with Mr. Black as well.
Yeah, I know you've done work with them.
I haven't worked for them,
Yeah.
but like I have spent some time doing it, and it's like Mr. Black Amaro is quite chocolatey. They are in New South Wales. They are on the central coast of New South Wales. They have a gin as well, and Tom Baker is the owner there, and like they source their coffee quite particularly. And this Amaro has very little to do with coffee, but it's got huge milk chocolate notes. And the thing is, you notice is like the filteredness is like that first question you had there. Is it Old World or New World? And that's New World. Why? Because the level of the filter.
Yeah.
You hold a glass of Braillio.
Yeah.
It's-
Braillio's like deep. It's dank.
It's fucking
massive.
deep and dank,
Yeah.
but it's fucking filtered.
Yeah.
This is
not. This is very,
like,
very cloudy.
This has a much thinner micron filter, and that's fine. But that's where you start to get interesting. Those old houses have a huge level of consistency.
Yeah, absolutely.
To
and
maintain.
they have to be consistent.
So
because
their
they've been there for
filtration
hundreds
is
of
like
years.
fucking law.
Yeah.
So it can't be old world because of the filtration immediately. Chocolate, there's not many of.
Well, there's not many New World distilleries that really do like a genuinely rich style.
They are, but
Really?
we just don't know it. Like, so I come,
like who?
I
Who
come
in
from a
particular?
small town. I meant to bring it tonight. I wish I had. But I come from a small town in Colorado. Is where I grew up, in Breckenridge. Like, fucking think Aspen ski town.
Yeah, dope.
Like, just around the corner.
Yeah.
Breckenridge Distillery makes an Aroma.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
And
But like, would it make it here?
their bourbon's here now.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Through an obscure importer.
Yeah.
Like, it's not largely here. I can only name one bar you could get it in.
Yeah.
But like, they make an Amaro, and it's similar to Akar Gold, but much less, and 100% not Australian.
Yeah.
But
cool.
like that kind of flavor camp, but there are heaps of places doing that. Like if you read the books, and there's heaps of Amaro out there, and if you go into Italy, there are
There's hundreds of Amaros.
Hundreds of Amaros.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the more you know, the more likely you are to get this wrong, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, to a certain extent, yeah. But I mean, also, do you think that one from Colorado was very similar to this?
I haven't opened it yet.
Oh,
I meant to
okay.
open
Yeah,
it,
cool. Awesome. Oh, that's all right.
I'll be open next week.
Yeah, cheers, mate. It's all good. We will see you very soon. Or is New World putting their reputation at risk by not paying as much attention to consistency and prioritizing craft? In terms of Amaro, I don't think so. I don't think they're putting their reputation at risk. I think it's part of the growth of experimentation within the industry.
So.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So.
Deep dive with me, baby.
Well, we
Let's
spoke
go.
earlier about the trip I took last year.
Yeah, for sure.
And that is a deep dive into Amaro. Like, that is the deepest dive you can have. Like,
well, into traditional cultural Amaro.
which is Amaro.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
That is it. So last year I was fortunate enough to go on a bit of a trip, and I got invited into some and spend some time with the people of Campari and Aperol. And I've tried the original Aperol and its past 3 families. It's different.
Yeah, it is. And it's changed over time because the produce has changed itself.
But the Aperol today is great.
Yeah.
And the Aperol back then is great.
But funnily enough, I prefer Campari from like back in the 80s.
It's also got bottle development in there though.
I know.
Which is the next thing I'm going to say. So
Yeah.
it's got other things. So it's like...
Yeah, it's such a field that changes over time, and depending where you are.
Quality is always important.
Yeah, for sure.
And like for I guess when it comes back to us as a whiskey producer, which because that happens as well, is like a rye whiskey is blended.
Yeah.
We are blending casks from our own distillery as any single malt is, as any whiskey maker in the world is.
Yeah.
Is like making that decision at the Gospel Distillery of what is going to be our straight rye a few months ago.
Yeah.
Was huge. And that was such a amazing thing to be a part of.
Yeah,
sitting there and sampling those casks and being like, what are we looking for here?
Yeah.
And being like, whatever we decide today is the guide of what we're going to try to consistently be forever.
Yeah, for real. And that's a massive responsibility to take on your shoulders in many ways, shapes, and forms.
And that distillery was not, that decision was not just me. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
for
sure mine
sure.
was
It's a massive
mine
group
was a
of people.
fraction of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like,
But a massive group of people.
I
going
got
to
the
this.
honor of
Yeah.
being able to sit there and try each of those casks individually.
Yeah.
And then each of the blends and the blends and the blends. And like a lot of work goes into that. But like when we decided what the gospel straight rye was going to be, like that is what it will be.
Yeah.
And
well,
like any
you
distillery
say that.
in the world,
Yeah.
it will never be the exact same recipe, but it will be aimed to be exactly like that profile every time.
Yeah, for sure. But
Just
I mean,
as-
like you say that, however, if you look at something
100
like,
years.
well, I mean, if you look at like Glenfiddich from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and Glenfiddich from the 90s, like thousands and now, they're entirely different. Absolutely different. And yes, there's bottle aging involved, and there is a bit of like dankiness from the bottle aging, but the majority of sherry casks that have been used in the younger vintages because they were cheap versus the majority of bourbon casks that are used now is absolutely palatable. You can see it.
It's amazing.
It's incredible. Yeah.
There's so many factors.
It's super dope, and you can geek the fuck out about this.
Like, this is...
We're geeking out. We're geeking the fuck out. Point of the story. We're gonna keep this.
Of the place.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna keep this maximum fun. Holy shit! We nearly just entered down a fucking rabbit hole, and we nearly took you with us.
Exactly. We
point of
don't
the
want
story
to
is,
take you down there.
Penfolds is not. Penfolds is putting their reputation at risk by lack of consistency in Grange. Well, look, I don't know. Okay. Clickbait. Yes, they are. I suppose. But point of the story. Are you ready for our final game of the evening?
Absolutely.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So, have you got the shaker? You've got the shaker? The shaker? You're going to need to dump it because it's time to play Australia's funniest home cocktails. That's right. Oh, my God. Every single time. Oh, my goodness. Wine has a reputation of vintage change. Not all products do, so not all consumers are aware of this effect and certainly not appreciative of these effects. It's interesting to hear different perspectives on it. Thank you so much, Peter. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Kerry. That's you. Sorry. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Things do change in a bottle. That's a thing that happens, and vintages are important.
You're telling me Tanqueray is going to be exactly the same since the day it was born?
Never. Not even close. In fact, Gordon's from the 70s is actually pretty darn good.
Gordon's from today is pretty darn good if you want it to be.
That's also very true. But funnily enough, if you compare it to like back in the day compared to now, I actually think it's more of an interesting spirit because they had direct coal fire stills.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Gordon's
saying.
and tonic? Great.
Yeah.
Gordon. Here's the simple answer. Gordon and Tanqueray are the same fucking thing.
They pretty much are. All right. So since we've gotten to that, it's now time to play Australia's funniest home cocktails, which is what we are doing. Boom! It's Australia's funniest home cocktails time. Oh, look at that!
What are we making?
Oh my goodness. We are making. Have you ever made a New York Tiger?
I've been one, but I haven't.
Jesus
That's
fucking
a lie.
Christ.
I have no idea. I'm just looking for a catchy answer. What is a New York Tiger?
Well, a New York. I mean, we can talk about this for ages and ages and ages. We're just going to put that up there so everyone at home can see. A New York Tiger. Here we go. So, here we are. We're about to try and make this drink. You're going to have to lean in to hear Janae Niesonger as she goes through this.
You told me about this, but I have not seen these videos yet, so I'm excited.
Okay, well, what you need to do is you need to pour with her.
Okay.
So get prepared. Get your whiskey. You're going to need, unfortunately, some of your gospel whiskey.
That's okay.
Is that all right? No. She doesn't use one of these.
Cool. What other ingredients do I need?
Grenadine and orange curacao. Here we
Is
go.
it Mary in there?
No, it's not. Are you ready? I will pause it. All right.
Hi, I'm Janae from Mahalo.com, and I'm going to teach you how to make a New York
okay.
Tiger.
Yeah.
The New York Tiger necessitates Jack Daniels.
Which
Jack Daniels?
Jack Daniels is awesome.
We are both sour mash whiskeys, by the way.
100%.
Fun side note there.
Unfortunately, we are going to use gospel instead of Jack Daniels, and I'm kind of sorry about
the gospel,
I'm terribly sorry.
The
about
gospel
this.
is a sour mash rye whiskey.
It might be fucking... Well, I'm sure it will
It's
be
much
fucking
better,
amazing.
but...
Much better, yeah. Triple sec.
Triple sec, and grenadine.
Grenadine.
This here is a whiskey martini.
What?
It's kind of similar to basically a Manhattan because you have a whiskey or a bourbon. And what would be similar to sweet vermouth?
No. Grenadine and triple sec is not similar to sweet vermouth at all. It's
Do I
not
have
even-
to do her meals, or can I make her recipe work?
You can do her meals first, and then you can make the recipe work.
Can I do both?
You can. Well, I mean, if you have another, we don't have another shaker tin.
Where's the mixing glass?
It's down there. If you want to do
Because
both.
she's already said how to make it work.
Okay. Alrighty, here we go.
I reckon I can make this drink work.
Holy
With
shit,
the
you're
same
taking this on.
ingredients.
Oh my god, we've never
I will make hers how she says, and I will make it right.
Look, I'm not gonna lie, at all. Hello, Shunper. Bonsoir, messieurs. Bonsoir. Comment ça va? Hope you're having a fantastic time. If you speak French, that's amazing. I don't really speak that much French. So, here we go. The fact that you're willing to take this on is probably the best thing that I've ever seen on this stream ever. No one else has been like, I'm going to take this on. I'm going to make 2. We're going to do this well.
So the challenge is now.
Yeah, okay.
The challenge is now is like we are going to, in this tin, because you're saying it's shaken.
Well, by all intents and purposes, I think it is shaken from her.
Her drink is shaken. I'm going to take the exact same ingredients, and I'm going to make a good drink.
Holy fuck, we are doubling down. Sound the air horn. This is going to be dope. Are
I
you
may
ready?
not treat them in the same way, and I will not use the same quantities.
That is totally fine.
I'm going to take the same.
I want you to make her
ingredients,
drink first. And
we are going to make a good drink and a
gonna
bad
grab
drink
this.
with the same ingredients.
Because it's served up. So I would like... Here we go. Are you ready?
Yep.
Alrighty.
Your rose is grenadine, but we also have an orange flavored liqueur added to here, which makes it even better because you have a little bit of citrus. So what you're gonna go ahead and do is get a nice shaker
Where's my
glass
sugar?
full of ice,
You don't need
and you're
to.
gonna put 1.5 ounces of your whiskey in it.
1.5 ounces of whiskey in the shaker, but then for your challenge cocktail, use a jigger. Use whatever you want. So yeah, free pour, 1.5 ounces. Holy shit, this is gonna get intense. This is intense. Hello, Shinper. Oh, bonsoir. Zach, if this comes out with a good drink, I will buy your first drink at maybe May when the borders are open.
Awesome, I'll see you there.
Okay, cool. Kerry, that's down.
First, can I make my drink after this drink when I
Yeah,
see
yeah,
what all
100%.
the ingredients
Yeah,
are? So we're going to
absolutely.
make this entire drink, and then when I see what every ingredient is, I will make the next one.
100%. Peter's just said, I like this guy.
I-
100%. You fucking sure.
All the
He's an
same
absolute
ingredients, but the level of them will be different.
champ. Awesome. So 1.5 ounces, apparently.
Splash in there as best I can.
Once you have the 1.5 ounces of whiskey, you're gonna put 1/2 ounce of your triple sec,
1/2 ounce of triple sec.
and then just a tiny splash of the grenadine. You don't want to overpower this drink with too much cherry flavor. Just a little bit. Now that we have all 3 ingredients perfectly filtered into our shaker glass,
Sorry. Perfectly filtered in the shaker glass. That's what you just said. Perfectly filtered in the shaker glass.
we're gonna
So what
shake
does
this
she
up
want?
and get it good and
So
chilled.
she's going to shake it. That's what she's doing.
So I should shake.
Now that
Yes.
it's good and cold, I'm gonna strain it into my martini glass.
And then she strains it in the martini glass.
Pretty pink color. And that is how you make a New York Tiger. Grr.
Oh dear, she said. Got enough shoulders there for you? Yeah, that's what I thought. I can't believe she said grr after making it. That's the worst.
Mate, give her her thing.
Yeah, this is true. Shaker glass made of metal. Yep. Add-on segment, the challenge cocktail, 100%. Wow, that... Oh, okay, yeah, please don't... No, stop, because this might be really bad. Can you stop pouring? You're
am I
pouring
gonna
me
do
the
with it
whole bad
anyway?
drink.
I'm not saying you have to drink it.
I thought you were going to split it into... Oh, we can put it in the slot.
Well, because we've got one more to make right after this in the
this is
same
very
glass.
true. Alrighty, here we go. Well,
You have this end to drink out of. I have that end to drink out of.
okay, that's how close we're going. Larry, welcome. You are a bucket full of laughs, my man. Nothing wrong to drink girl cocktail. Well, I mean, here we go. We're about to find out. All right.
I don't trust her.
No, I don't trust her at all. Sorry.
But it could have been worse.
Just sorry. Just give me a second. I need to summon the courage. It's not. It's okay.
It's a poorly balanced cocktail.
Yeah, it's not. Look, it's not the worst drink we've had on this stream.
And what are the ingredients again?
So the ingredients were an ounce and a half of rye, half an ounce of curacao, and then a dash of grenadine. Oh, that was. Yeah, hello. COVID bro, yes, absolutely. It's not the color he's concerned about. Yeah, it's the glass itself. The taste was poorly balanced by her. It's like the worst parts of raspberry and the worst parts of. It's like the worst parts of all of the things that we just put in there. You know what I mean? So what do you think for this drink? Like, what are you gonna do?
So the reality is she has put 3 really good flavors together.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with what she's done.
Is it okay that I throw this away? You're not going to take it?
Yeah, check it.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
It's not my cocktail.
Thank you.
So she's put 3 really good flavors together. Rye, grenadine, raspberry syrup, whatever you want to call it, and orange. They're hard to fault. Like, every one of them is hard to fault, but you've got a problem here when you look at cocktails. You need to look at balance, right? So you've got rye, which is in your middle, and then you've got sweet, and then if you're going to use sweet, the next thing you want is sour.
Yeah.
Instead, she added a sweet. That throws it all along the scales here. So what you'd really want to do here is you'd want to add, you've got fucking plethora of answers to this. You can add lemon, which would be against what I said I'd do.
Yeah.
But you could add lemon, and that's probably going to make you your best drink.
Yeah, okay.
If you add the lemon equivalent to the sour they did, you are going to have, I guarantee you, a delicious drink.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. Alternatively, you can bring up the whiskey.
Yeah.
Because you've got dry.
Well, see, this is what I think. And might I just jump in? I think we should go with a 50ml pour.
We're going to make it an old-fashioned. So
I completely agree.
I committed to something without knowing what was about to happen there, because I'm telling you right now, what I'd like to do is I'd like to make a whiskey sour out of it. But I said I'd make a drink with those 3 ingredients. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the sweeteners way down. Yeah. And we're going to make this really niche, full-flavored sweetness. But then we're going to just hear the whiskey and we're going to treat it just like an old-fashioned.
Absolutely.
And I think that is putting into the point to you how simple but complicated cocktails are. Is they all kind of fall into these camps.
No, but cocktails are magic. Like, the fact that you can combine these 3 things and produce an entirely new drink that amplifies things about the core drink that you didn't know were there, that's beautiful. It's sensational.
The fact that I can watch that and see that there's 7 possibilities like that comes with just time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the fact is, anyone can just do that. So we are looking at curacao, grenadine, and rye whiskey.
Give me your recipe, baby. Here we go. Sadly, we don't have any of the Great Ocean Road Raspberry Gin. It would be fantastic to use. And if you are a massive fan of Slows, that gin is fantastic. Larry, you are always...
these ingredients? This is, raspberry.
So there you go. So this is the raspberry. This is the curacao.
What's the top notch?
Top notch is, so you got 15 and 20. I was going to say bar spoon it, but that's just me. Do you have bar spoon? Yeah. Got bar spoon, baby.
2.5?
Yep.
Those 2.
Larry, what is in that cocktail, my man? If you can let me know, that would be fantastic. Yes, Shenpur, we absolutely have tried sangria. You've tried sangria, haven't you?
Absolutely.
Plenty, yeah. We've punched sangria, my man. We have taken sangria to dinner and bought it a whole bunch of wonderful crudité, and then also taken it home. We're au fait with sangria. Have you tried sangria? And if you have, what is your favorite sangria? That's what I want to know. Well, that's fantastic. Have you ever had it, man? It's good to have you on the stream, and I hope you're having a fantastic time with yourself. Yes, I know, absolutely. Literally punched. Oh, that's terrific, Larry. That's awesome. Well, I hope if we can source that, we can maybe mix it together. That would be terrific. I think that would make a great drink. That is very true. You say that every single stream. So that's 45, and then 60s to the top. But it's good to have you on, as always. It's great to see you. And I'm sure one of these days you will ask a serious question, and I'm really psyched for that. But that's just a personal request of mine. Because Twitch is a wonderful place where everyone is accepted for who they are. The Bailey Sangria. Hold on. Whoa. Shenpe. What do you mean? The Bailey Sangria. With lemon, orange, and strawberry. The way you spelled strawberry is very funny in my mind. Well, I mean, Bailey's in Sangria. Is that what you're talking about? Because that's pretty intense. That might be really, like, pretty insane. How we doing, man? You want a bit more grenadine?
We're going to go a touch more. It's
Okay.
not going to be much.
But it's going to be a bit. Oh, yeah. Here we go. I can't believe that we're doing this. I can't believe that you've taken on the challenge. You're like, yes, here we go. I'm going to make this bad cocktail very, very good. And I think you'd be able to garnish it with some orange. Yeah, that'll do.
Nope, it won't.
Nope.
Yeah. Orange twist would be great.
So sorry. Maybe you just went, yeah, I mean, great. Yeah, sure. No, I think that'll definitely work. You know, different orange. Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
To be honest, I hadn't thought that far ahead. I was thinking,
Okay.
okay, what's the sour sweetness here?
Well,
I guess
you've got a bit of sourness from the grenadine, so it's pomegranate.
the reality is what we're breaking down into is every cocktail is a balance of sweet and sour and strong and weak.
Yeah.
And until I hit ice with this, there was no weak, but we had a balance of sweet and sour and strong.
Yeah.
And weak behaves slightly like sweet, so we know we can comprehend for that.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. We know this ice has been there forever, so we will not keep.
Yeah, keep showing it.
Yep.
Yes.
But what we've essentially done here is we've upped the whiskey, which ups the ABV, which ups the energy of it, making it hotter. And then we've also dumbed down the sweetness, because that cocktail, what was wrong with it was way too sweet.
Yeah.
With nothing combating it.
Yeah.
And what combats sweet is either acid or alcohol.
Yeah.
So we brought it down, balanced it out, and we made another version. And it's very red, so I'm a bit scared. So I'll let you try it first.
Oh, thank you. That's fantastic of you. Just before we do, we'll go through the comments. Are we ever going to shred some sweet sounds on that Vox? Well, you got to wait until we have Josh Nicholson on from Hats and Tats, and then we will shred some sweet sounds on the Vox. Don't you worry. So if you do see Josh Nicholson on this stream, we'll be playing guitar. That's a real thing. We did it last time. And here we go. Shenpe has said, yeah, you put Bailey's in sangria and it gives it a lot of sweetness. That sounds...
Of course, it's laced with sugar. It's like 50% of that recipe is sugar, and it's delicious. But of course it does. But you can add anything sweet to do that.
Why Bailey's, bro?
But red wine and coffee go well together.
Yeah, for sure. But also red wine and Coca-Cola go well together, as the Argentinians say, and do. I mean, for God's sake.
Each to their own, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, that sounds fantastic, and we might have to try that on this stream, but we shall see. But here we go. I'm gonna give this a go.
I have not tried this, so I have no idea what he's about to get. But all things considered, it can't be bad.
You know what? That's actually pretty fucking good. I mean, I can't believe you just made that out of Curacao grenadine and rye. That's not bad at all.
So, by rebalancing that, essentially what we've come up with is we've kind of turned it back into an old-fashioned.
Yeah, we really kind of have. And, like, it's a banging drink, so we have tons of fruit. Rather than using
we've dropped the whiskey a bit because we've used liqueurs as a sweetener for part of it.
Yeah.
But cocktails are, once you figure out the algorithm, they're all kind of related. You can kind of draw a line from one to the other to the other.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. 100%. And like, Peter
can
has
come
just
to a
said,
place like this, and then you can just go. You can just slightly adjust it to make it perfect.
yeah, 100%. I mean, funnily enough, if you kept like working on that drink, so Kerry has just said the Gospel Tiger as a name for that cocktail. Well, funnily enough, I'd call it the William Blake because, and this is an outlandish reference, because William Blake wrote a duality of poems called The Lamb and the Tiger, and the Tiger, both of them are about the duality of God. So that might be a cool thing to name it. Anyway, point
Think about like a cocktail like that. Like, what does it need?
Well, I mean, fuck, man, I don't know.
Acid.
It does. It needs it like, and this is what I meant. Like maybe a
But
bit
it's
of
a
orange.
straight cocktail, so why do you add the acid? We haven't
Yeah.
added a twist of lemon yet. So if you add a twist of lemon,
Yeah,
that's orange, right?
yeah, that's orange.
But if you added lemon over the top,
Yeah,
I reckon it'd be complete.
yeah, it might work. Hell's yeah. Do you want me to order you some Dominoes again? Yes, absolutely, my man. Please order us some Dominoes.
that for
Not
real?
the Lion and the Lamb. Shout out to the Twilight Tweens. Sadly not. No, it's the Lamb and the Lion. Sorry, the Lamb and the Tiger is the name of the two poems. Have we tried Tinto Verano Rosé with lemonade?
Not that I remember.
I personally haven't, but it sounds pretty fucking good. Point of the story.
I'm into it.
We're into it. We're very into it, but
I would in a heartbeat, but I haven't yet that I remember.
yeah, but might I just say, that's all we got time for. We're all done. We're all done, guys. It's been a pleasure having you, as always. Thank you for joining us on Instagram, also on Facebook, on Twitch, on YouTube, if you were joining us from there. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for
this
having
evening.
us, Henry. It's been an absolute pleasure, everyone. Nice to meet you all
100%.
through this platform.
To this platform. And if you are interested, the Gospel make fucking incredible whiskey out of Melbourne. So please, if the next time you're in the mood for some rye, grab some Gospel because it's fucking unreal and it will do you so many favors. So guys, thank you for joining us this evening. Really appreciate it.
May I say something?
Please, go ahead. Yeah. No, do you think?
How many people are here?
We've got, 10, 12.
Awesome, cool. This is the first time I've mentioned this so far, but just so you're all aware, in the next less than 2 months, we will be releasing the first Gospel single cast.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy balls.
And I'm not even sure I have permission to do this.
Oh, okay.
But the fact of the matter is like, follow our platforms, and there will only be about 270 of these bottles, and this will be cast 30 coming out of the distillery, and it'll be the first single cask that we've deemed to be ready to be bottled at single cask. It's not at cask strength. It is at the ideal bottling strength that we found for that whiskey at 47%.
Yeah.
And it'll be coming out the next 2 months.
Amazing. So we have Gospel.
This is literally the first time that has been mentioned.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm holy shit. We're going to definitely post this to the Australian Whiskey Appreciation Society with that as the handle on it. Wait, don't? Did you just say don't? Yeah, okay. We're not going to do that.
We're keeping it real low key and secret now?
It's secret.
It's not a secret?
It's not a secret now.
No, it's not.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Please join us again on Friday at 6:30 when we'll be joined with Hugh from Marionette. We are going to be going through a whole range of different beautiful liqueur-based cocktails. So if you are in the mood to get your liqueur on, please join us then. It's going to be a really fun time. Dude, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We are out of here.
Pleasure.
We are out of here. Here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready? It's all done. Goodbye. Oh, that's nice.
The sacred stone. Oh, this you crazy mother.